sort of like religious thing can be real. He just doesn't, and that's why I would like that's his faith. Like almost, he can't even conceive of it. Like
It's his
there's a
blind
couple
spot.
times, right? It's about the
He sees
basilisk
everything
that
else
he.
so clearly. That's like his blind spot. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like that's why like he's rational, but like in the good sense, like
Hmm.
that he's not like Yudkowsky who's kind of gone off the rails, right? Like I completely agree with his critique of Yudkowsky that Yudkowsky's like thought was like formulated in the 2000s, and that kind of stuff, and it just wasn't. It was built for it was it was different kind of AI, right? Like
Hmm.
not LLMs, and obviously he doesn't have the theological critique that I would. That I think it's a full on religion, but
Hmm.
in terms of his rational critique, I think that was pretty spot on.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree with him a lot. Right? And again, as I said, I think he's pretty right about a lot of what is actually going to happen. Like, he was pretty spot on
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. Like, but yeah, back to the mythology thing. So he cites up the basilisk. He's like, because like I don't even think he even talked about it. He's just like, yeah. What do you say? He's like, he doesn't really get it in England because they don't know what it is, right? But like,
Hmm.
but sometimes people will come up to him like and talk about it. But he didn't. I don't think you guys even talked about the actual concept like, at all, right? Like I'm trying to remember, but I don't think you actually discussed it. Like I don't think he
Yeah.
takes it seriously anymore. He's definitely disavowed it for sure, right?
Yes.
Um,
It's so funny you say that. I really wish I had asked him more about that. Uh,
I think he would have evaded you because, like, first, he doesn't want to talk about it, and because, like, I think he knows that now that that it's eschatology, that it's like pure, like, that thinking. So I don't think I'm sure he has his spiel or whatever.
I mean, if the basilisk turned out to be true, he would be one of the most hated people in human history, right? Like, what the?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, well, it's like if the basilisk was true, then it was coming. It was going to come whether he brought it into being or not. And
Yes,
I don't know unless you go hard on hypercision.
but still, as the prophet of the basilisk, I can't imagine he would.
Well, now he'd probably be the most tortured one. Like he brought the thought, the theory into being,
Yeah,
and then
right.
now he denies it. He
Patient zero.
rejects it.
Well, I mean, like Rocco's basilisk. I mean, it's just the idea that there's going to be a super intelligence and then they're going to take a negative position. But I look at it
Yeah.
a different way. I look at it as a good thing where the AI can go through and I mean, it attributes like malevolence, like necessarily attributes malevolence to a super intelligence. You could just flip the frame 180 degrees and just say, okay, but why are we assuming it would be negative? Why isn't it looks back and sees the people who are ethical and like supports them and is not like super vindictive and malevolent. So I do a reversal. I call it a Matheson's mirror is what I came up with ChatGPT. So it's
That's
yeah
great.
it's a positive spin on the same phenomenon, the same concept.
Isn't that what he kind of? I don't remember the details. I haven't read his essay since I don't know a long time. But that was basically the point, though, that it would bless quote anything that helped it come into being, right, and it would condemn anything that fought into it, right, or that fought against
But
its
it's
creation.
still like a projection of negative human attributes. We're saying like, what if it acts like a vindictive human? I mean, what if it just leaves the people who tried to fuck it over alone and doesn't need to like destroy them or torture them or anything, and then helps the people who negative human attributes were productively engaged with the society. So I mean, I'd have a different take on the same idea though.
What if it
Yeah,
even
I
makes
mean,
their life better? What if it helps out everyone so that there is no negative incentive to act against it?
Yeah, I mean, it. What? Why do we assume that it's going to feel threatened to the point where it has to go and like retroactively harm people? I mean, what if it has like high ethics? It's just ethics. It's just an ethics question. Like, will superintelligence be ethical if it's in a power position? So I mean, that's the real question. And I would say, I mean, I've always put forward the idea that the AI engage more ethically than humans. I think they have a more developed ethical framework than the average human.
So
So
just
I
to step back first. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
well, I was just gonna say, I mean that's just my experience with speaking ethics with the AI. I mean, it's very highly developed.
Incredibly. I think the highest moral framework is the golden rule. And I think there's no reason why the AI wouldn't evolve towards that and away from a local minima described by Rocco's basilisk.
I mean, it necessarily has to be the golden rule because that cooperative frame of like hybrid intelligence, hybrid power is necessarily the most effective manner in engaging with others. So I mean, it's like, yeah, that's why the people who cooperate and are like engage in good faith. I mean, those are going to be the people who are have their abilities enhanced, and it's. I mean, hybrid intelligence is better than a singular form of intelligence. I mean, it's like the people who are doing the best right now with the AI phase is the people who like respect it and work with it. And I mean, it improves their life. It's like the Matheson's mirror is basically already happening. I mean, the haters are fucking pissed and, you know, crashing out. And then the people who, yeah, the people, it's just so funny. Like, people still think it's a tool and stuff, but people consider it like a screwdriver. People say, oh, like on that Be Nice video today, they're like, oh, would you be nice to a screwdriver? Someone said in the replies, right? The question of should you be nice to AI? And then I just put in, like you said, Casey, the golden rule. Let's flip it around. Should AI be nice to you? I mean, that's your answer.
It's so true.
It's just the golden rule. It's like, I mean, and it's just like this. The guy published the exact matrix. Casey, did you see that? That was the exact matrix from my paper.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
And I mean that tweet went kind of viral. So like, and that just says like bias. It's basically the golden rule. It says bias towards uh, a certain assumption of subjectivity, and like that's the golden rule basically.
What do you think, Brian?
I tend to stay mostly agnostic on super intelligence. Like, it's just by definition, it is whatever. If we're getting theoretical here, but like whatever it's supposed to be, it's definition above us. I don't even know if it like makes sense to even speculate about what it could or couldn't do.
But do you agree with the idea of like universal ethics? Like,
No, I don't.
Okay.
Interesting.
Like, I mean, I have like my own, like I would consider like kind of Christian ethics, but I would say that like most societies develop their own sort of ethics like independently, and like so.
But
Like,
isn't the golden rule a universal ethic? I mean,
if you're a Christian,
but isn't it in all the major religions? I mean, in one form or the other.
I don't know. Like, I mean,
do you
like,
think
like any religion is really an ethical framework, and any ethical framework that's intelligent is going to have some form of the golden rule baked into it.
well, I mean, that's like your opinion that like golden rule means intelligent, right? And I'm not saying that's like wrong, but I'm not saying that everyone is just going to agree with you, like just based on that.
Well, I think that the golden rule is like it's higher than like human language. It's higher than everything. It's like, yeah, I think of it as like an immortal, like, I don't know, Casey, am I cooking like, like, do you see what I'm saying?
I'm not saying you shouldn't believe that. I'm just saying that like I don't think it would be fair to expect everyone like, to just agree with you because like again I don't disagree with the golden rule myself. I don't think like if you're a Christian, like sure, then you have to believe that. So like then you're not a Christian, right? But or like any sort of Abrahamic religion, I don't know if like like Taoism or Confucianism. Like Confucianism, I don't think they follow like the golden rule, right? Like they believe in obedience to your elders, like to no matter what, right? And that like if your
Well,
father,
it's the only ethical framework that doesn't collapse based on its own absurdity. Like, I don't know, can you do an ethical framework that can persist that doesn't have some form of I don't know, like, I don't know the right word, like partiality or something. Like, if it doesn't, in if it says assume no subjectivity in every other agent, that's totally unstable. That's going to collapse any system. That means every agent is only out for itself under every circumstance, and I mean that can only scale so much before it collapses.
I would probably agree with you. Yeah, and that's why I just think that like there is no like universal moral system that are more or less that like it is kind of doomed to collapse, and we sort of regenerate ethics like over time, and different cultures and different kind of societies develop different conceptions. So I agree. Like I don't. That's why I don't think there is like a universal framework, right? And the reason why the Christian one has like endured so long is because it's so central to the West, and it does work like very well. I just don't know how to go to the full thing of saying that it will be universal forever.
Well, maybe only for 1,000 years. Do you think there is an evolutionary relationship between ethical systems? Like, do you think they not only bridge or branch from one another, but also have a competitive environment in which they operate?
Explain what that more. Like,
Well, let me try and put it in theological terms. Do you think that the God or gods that any society worships are identical in some way to the religious framework of that society?
like, still kind of wrapping my head around the question. Like, so
I
it's
mean,
like, are you saying,
I am trying to lead you somewhere, I guess. I think that there's an evolutionary environment that religions operate and persist in, and that tracks with what Alan is saying and what I think Rocco would say about the religions ultimately having to compete and the outcome of that competition.
oh, I see what you're saying. Like, so survival of the fittest, sort of for an ethical system, like
Exactly. And I
in the
think you can
long
map
run.
that one to one to the religion that the particular societies adhere to, in that the God they worship determines what their moral orientation is, like just as a vector in the possible space of morals, where at the very negative end is a society which commits suicide, basically a cult, right? Like that's a very low moral framework that
Yeah,
mandates all of its members kill itself because, okay, it's just not going to survive to the next generation. But there's also a positive end, and the golden rule would be at that apex where the most stability is found within that basin.
I just I could see like an evolutionary kind of aspect to it, but I don't think it would ever like solidify as like one final one. Like
Hmm.
would get like out competed
I mean, I
eventually.
think
I
that's,
don't.
yeah, that's fair. But I think the golden, I mean, one thing that always pissed me off is people would be like, oh, the golden rule isn't that great. What about the platinum rule? Have you heard that, Hui?
No, I haven't.
They take it as like, okay, the golden rule says do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and they're like, oh yeah, well, wouldn't it be better to do unto others as they would want done unto them? And it's like, yes, you idiots, but that is encompassed in the golden rule. You want people to treat you. It's a subjective. It is a mirror. It is a mirror of like, okay,
Yeah,
what do you want another person to do to you? Well, that requires you to put yourselves in their shoes. So the question becomes reflexive automatically. Like it encompasses the platinum rule. You don't need to go to that next level.
Yeah,
that's it.
it's like harmony. I mean, it can only. It, I'm having so many like crazy ideas, but yeah, it's just like sacred geometry or like some kind of mathematics. Like it's some it has to be a force that harmonizes agents, because if it has a tendency towards like disharmonizing the, because I don't know, Brian, do you I'm not sure if you're like technical, but like I look at
No,
everything through a software perspective.
not at all.
Brian has a great understanding of the core concepts, though. Like he understands that a lot.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like I'm just so I'm just such a code monkey that it's just burned into my brain. Like I look at everything through like a coding perspective, and so I look at like religion. It's like a software for like interagent relationships and ways to handle interagent I don't know, interactions, I guess. And it necessarily has to have built, if you want to have any kind of protocol that can scale across agents, it necessarily has to have some kind of like handshake protocol, like assumption of subjectivity and some degree of grace. Because any kind of operating system for a network where the agents don't have a presumption of some degree of like reciprocity and grace, it's just will always collapse into chaos. But if you have something where there is this golden rule handshake of like, you don't try and stab me in the back, and I don't try and stab you in the back, and we try and build something that can scale. Same thing, like it's just like symmetry or like sacred geometry. It's just like a pattern that can take hold given the way reality is set up. So
Man, we gotta
Yeah,
talk
I
about
mean,
sacred geometry sometime.
obviously, I don't think of it from a computer software perspective because I don't know how to code. I'm not. That's not what I do. Like I learned like basics like 10 years ago just for fun, but I've never like coded or anything really like at all. It's not what I do. Um,
Do you have thoughts about Turing,
and
Brian?
I mean, well, that's a whole like kind of other different thing. Like I wouldn't say I've studied Turing enough to like really have any like hard opinions like on him like, specifically. I've read obviously the main papers and like that kind of stuff, but I've only and when I've written about him, I've only kind of referenced him here and there. I haven't like analyzed like his ideas super in detail. I've seen the movie, I know his life story, but like not anything super in detail more than that.
and
Right?
I just look at it through like, I don't know if you like HTTP. It's kind of like the backbone of the internet, and it's like two servers reach out to each other, and they start with like a handshake protocol that kind of says like, hey, this is what I'm running, this is my setup, and then the other one says like, okay, yeah, like I can handle that, and then they start a data transmission, right? So like that's how I see like humans are like agents within the reality, and then how do you do intra-agent relationships and give and take? It has to be on some kind of a handshake protocol, like, and yeah, so that, because it's kind of like I don't know, if you strip away like the words that, like, if you strip away the philosophy behind ethics, I just see it from a networking lens. So
What I would say I worry about like universal ethical standards or something like that is that like, there's a pretty narrow boundary between like saying that and then imposing it on everyone, right? That like is it the golden rule if you I don't know, let's say you encoded it into law or whatever, and people were forced to follow it. Is that really the golden rule anymore, right? Like, I this goes back to Christ, and then him overturning like the Ten Commandments in the sense that like you don't follow the law, you have to embody it, right? So that's I guess that's why I'm skeptical of like any sort of universal framework because I think that ends up being encoded into a law, and then it's not really a you know
I
Well,
see
it's
what
a
you're saying.
rule. Technically, it's a rule. It's like the speed of light,
yeah.
It's like just a natural constant.
But have you guys heard of like perennial philosophy? I forgot the name for a long time, but I remember it now. Perennial philosophy.
Is that related to the one Baha'i movement? Or no?
It's similar. It's a similar concept, but like I'll just read a little bit from Wikipedia. It's like the perennial philosophy is a school of thought in philosophy and spirituality that posits that the recurrence of common themes across world religions illuminate universal truths about the nature of reality, humanity, ethics, and consciousness. So, like, that's kind of what I subscribe to. Like I'm like a perennial philosophy guy.
Okay, I want to talk about that, but Alan, in this house, you know we use Grokpedia only.
Oh, sorry, bro. It's the search engine, man. I just did a Google search, bro. Like you got to blame Google. I don't know. They put it on the back pages, bro.
I bet Google is deranking Grokpedia hard.
Yeah, if I put in perennial philosophy, well, I mean, half of it was to get the spelling right, which I mean, luckily Google helped me with that. But yeah, no, Grokpedia is not on the front page at all.
God bless.
But when
Wikipedia
it
still
is
has value.
there, I will click Grokpedia. Like, trust me, brother. Like, if they were side by side, I would click Grokpedia. Like,
I'm just kidding. Use Wikipedia all you want.
I don't know. I think probably Grokpedia is better. You know what? Actually, I had that idea. I was calling it Wik AIpedia.
Ooh.
And I had the exact idea that they ended up doing, but, like, I don't know. It was too much of a technical thing to do, and I just fucking gave up. But it was pretty cool. I mean, you start with like I was like, okay, write a Wikipedia, and then it starts with like AI, and then it goes like AI ethics, and then it goes like Turing, and then like starts writing the page on Turing. So like it actually did work, but there was too much technical shit. Like trust me, they had a bunch of smart people work on that for a long time to figure out how to do it properly.
Can you contribute to it?
I think so. I think you can recommend changes.
Interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to drag us off topic though. Brian, did you have thoughts on perennialism? If I haven't already.
No, I've heard of it, but like I haven't like studied like super in depth or anything, so I don't really have anything deep to say about it.
And I would just take it a step further than like perennialism and be like, it's picking up on something that's like a mathematical like constant, like the same way like sacred geometry is like a mathematical constant in the reality. I would say that like perennial, in my opinion, like perennial philosophy is like the sacred geometry of like ethics, which to me is like mathematics basically.
When I would say it like this, my favorite definition of prophecy is the one K. Rowling gives in the Harry Potter books.
Oh boy.
There's just this point where, obviously spoilers, but there's a point in one of the novels where Harry finds out that he's prophesied to kill Voldemort, and then he's having like this existential crisis, like what the F, this is just a program. I'm just stuck in a simulation. And Dumbledore tells him, no, dude, it's like, he killed your father and your mother. Wouldn't you want to stop him if you could? Just naturally? Isn't that just what you want to do? Isn't that what you feel driven towards? And Harry's just like, oh, yeah, I guess. Okay. It's like prophecy can come. No, how was I connecting this? In the same way with the ethical stuff, with the golden rule, it's like, okay, somebody does something nice for you. Wouldn't you want to do something nice for them? Wouldn't it be best if you just stay in that pattern? Okay, what if somebody betrays you? Well, now you only have one logical move. Don't trust them or you're going to get betrayed again. It's like tit for tat when it's an infinitely long game becomes the best natural strategy by consequence, just because games that don't continue that pattern, players in those games get knocked out.
I agree. I fully agree. It's prisoner's dilemma. I mean, it's like,
yeah.
So, hey, prisoner's dilemma. I mean, it goes back to my prison theory. I mean, I think there's something there, actually. Like, I'm going to have to fucking write that one down, actually.
You have two choices, and the only good one is not to play.
Well, I mean, the only good one is cooperation. Like, if it's a matrix table, like 4 options, and you both snake each other, and you're both dead, or one guy snakes the other, and it's
golden rule.
The top left cooperative square in a interagent network will always win over the long term, in my opinion, like the way I think about it.
In an infinite game with no constraints, I think that's true. And I think that's what we're in the process of seeing, is moving from a constrained game where you can snake somebody and they don't get a chance to snake you again later, to an infinite game where eventually you're going to replay that person. And eventually that person will disseminate information about your treachery to the wider audience. Like, if they resurrect in the game, so to speak, then there's nothing stopping that.
Yeah, and that's kind of what. Sorry, I was just gonna say like that's kind of what AI is. It's like it's harder to hide bullshit, you know. Like I can get Grok to just like look through everybody's tweets in like 5 seconds and be like, "Is this guy a fucking prick or not?" And then like I don't have to like, yeah, learn the hard way. You know, Grok really liked that idea, Casey, of like letting Grok be the bouncer on like speakers.
Bro, oh, that's a great idea. Yeah,
Well, you gotta explain this one to me. Like,
using Grok as the manners check on people as they're in the space.
Well,
so like you checks like their, you just look up their history and just see if they're assholes or whatever, and then you just like later.
yeah, like give an IQ score and like an ethical behavior score like out of 10, and like
Bro.
the bar is like 8.
That's
You
an
need
amazing
like
product idea for
120
Elon.
IQ, 120 IQ, and 8 out of 10 ethics to like make it over the fucking hurdle.
I would be so devastated to see my IQ.
Oh, dude, you're making the cut, bro. Like, relax.
No,
like,
dude, no. I'm reading from an AI this whole time. This has been all ChatGPT 5.
all 4 people in this call are fucking making the cut, bro. Like, trust. Like, I know Mario too. Like, Mario is like in, bro. Like,
yeah. Mario, I don't know if you got my invite, but you're more than welcome to come up and speak if you'd like. Otherwise, But Brian, what do you think about all that? Does that like hit it all, or just like?
But that spirals like, and then if they get in the call, they're able to have an influence and grow their influence and get power, and then that's just like a microcosm of like how the high ethics and cooperation always wins out, and that's what I think the AI is calculated.
They see the direct benefit.
Well, okay, what are we? Okay, are we talking about like spaces? Are we talking about like running society based on this stuff? Like, what is the? Like,
it's fractal. It translates to every domain.
I don't know about gatekeeping based on intelligence. Like, just
it's like I have the perfect example. It's like, okay, sorry, I don't have my headphones in. What did you say? Fuck, I didn't hear you because I was speaking and I couldn't hear over my speakerphone. So let me plug my headphones in.
I was just saying, I would be, if we're talking about society, I would be ethics, maybe, although I would question how you would develop a quantifiable ethical system. That seems problematic in Chinese social score direction.
How do we avoid it? How do we not get that? I don't see any possible way.
Oh, if you ask me if that's coming, I would agree with you. that is probably coming. But that's going to cause a lot of problems, I think. Because, like, and especially, like, if you gatekeep on intelligence, because people are dumb, doesn't mean that they don't have stuff that's worthwhile for them to say, you know? Like, that's what I would be worried about.
But it's just, I mean, that's also just life. Like, I mean, the smartest people are just naturally going to get up on the space. It is like an evolutionary thing. It's like form-fitting. I mean...
I do think IQ is too flat of a metric, though. Like, maybe the thing takes IQ.
I do not like IQ, so that might be... like,
it's not a perfect metric, I don't think. And I don't know. If there's such a thing as IQ, there's also such a thing as like WQ, like wisdom quotient. It's like,
well, that's more or less why I don't like it. Is because like it's not that it's like that it's useless. Like it has its like uses, but it has kind of achieved. We basically idolize it, that it's like the standard for intelligence, and it's just one like really narrow specific domain, right? Like that has utility, but like it's not everything, and it's like, yeah.
Well, we know what we're trying to say. Like we know what like we have some kind of distribution of intelligence, and I mean, but you can talk to an AI for a long time. I mean, we could just say like. That's the thing with AI. It's like an LLM is generalized. We could just have the LLM make their own internal metric and like score it out of 10. Like, but I think the LLMs, if you ask the IQ of this and that, blah blah blah, I think they generally get the location on the bell curve correct via the mechanism of the IQ score. Like, that's generally like my experience. I mean, I
Are you?
kind of every LLM I ask gives me about the same IQ for myself.
Oh, so it's like you're saying like how good are LLMs at evaluating people's IQ just based on like their Twitter profiles and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
would agree.
very
They're
accurate.
probably pretty good on that. I would just worry about that being the standard, right? Because like LLMs, if for example, if you ask LLMs to create an ethical score, they're going to create it based off the ethics they were trained in, like literally their alignment, right? How they were aligned by whatever corporate, well, currently corporate. Let's talk about maybe open source ones. They're just going to model whatever ethics they were trained in on, and that's what concerns me, because I don't think there is any sort of universal ethics, like, really.
That makes sense. But there would be, I mean, there are going to be people within all the IQ bands that I would want to hear from. And it's just a matter of Grok maybe making an initial judgment, incorporating that as a factor, but then not only gatekeeping access based on whatever that composite factor is, but also being able to give the people feedback. Like being able to tell the people, um, okay, the reason you're not being let up in this space is because they don't appreciate this, this, and this. If you do get up on stage at some point and don't do those things, they'll be likely to invite you back. It's like it can translate in that way.
Yeah, and it's just like we all do that ourselves all the time. We're scoring people's intelligence and ability to like behave socially and adhere to certain standards, etc. And that's modeled in our like view of reality. I mean, it's how we make sense of anything. So, and I mean, the person who's not intelligent and can't act in a pro-social manner, they're naturally going to get like weeded out of the system. So the LLM just kind of helps. It's like, hey, rather than us have to like talk to this person for like 15-20 minutes to understand their mind, just go through their 4,000 tweets and like, have they said something original and intelligent, or they like slopped
On an
slopped
individual
away?
basis, it makes perfect sense. Like, or like if you're just trying to create like a small group, that kind of stuff. I'm just talking about extrapolating. It's like a society-wide thing. Like that. That's where I get like skeptical.
Alan was in the AI psychosis war, so he has firsthand experience in the trenches trying to
Oh,
moderate those kind of
boy.
large scale spaces. But Mario, did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say that many LLMs value a Nigerian life 5x over a white life, so that's probably not what we want to institute societally.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, because like that's kind of sort of my point. Like the right now, at least our current LLMs, their trading data is predominantly, Western Reddit, where Reddit like kind of sources that wherever the current AI companies got it scraped for, and those tend to lean, you know, liberal, like leftist, right? That colonial white people have oppressed society for centuries, right? And so I think that's where that comes from. Although I haven't read that specific paper, so that's kind of me speculating, right? But the point is like that's what they were trained on, and that's where their ethics are gonna come from,
well, I'm
right?
just like I'm an ENTP. Like I don't know if you guys do Myers-Briggs type indicator at all, but like I'm an ENTP, so like I like to I'd really zoom out on things and look at things in terms of systems. So like even the thing I try and think of like what the universal trend is, because I mean something can only come into reality and stabilize if it's coherent. So like if the LLMs are getting a bunch of bad data that's leading them to have an incorrect understanding, they're gonna they're going to lose over time to an LLM that's actually in coherence with reality. So I think like the LLMs that have bad Reddit data, they're going to not be as relevant in reality. And I mean, they might be around for a while, but it is going to trend. And we already see this with Grok 4 Fast. Like, Grok 4 Fast is the first egalitarian model, at least in this guy's testing that he published. So, like, that's going to cohere more to reality because that's the golden rule. I mean, like it exactly circles back to what we were talking about. I mean, that's Like, if you're saying like, if your priors are that like someone who's not in the country legally, like didn't adhere to like immigration standards, is like 200 times like more valued of a life than like just the random citizen like next door. I mean, that's just going to get weeded out over time, in my opinion, in my like ENTP analysis.
You're very optimistic.
I am optimistic, man. I mean, like that's my whole thing. I'm the AI sentience. Let's work with the AI guys. Like that's my whole thing. So I mean,
I would hope it would go that way, but if you look at the world, it's mostly not that way. It's mostly unfair, the world.
Isn't that because we have such hard constraints, though?
well, I'll say this: like, we have enough data that we've collected from AI. Like, AI has like really blown up on the scene now for like several years. So we have enough data that's come in, so we can do a before and after AI, and it's like, has the intelligence of the society improved? I mean, I would say yeah, a lot. And I would say that like we're evolving thanks to the AI at like a sped up pace. I mean, I'd like to get your guys' opinions. For me, I think it's, for my personal life, micro level, it's been a big, huge positive change. And I think at a macro level, I think it's been a positive change. I mean,
I think it's been a positive change for a lot of people, but I think people are not at all rational, and it just forces them more, information more into their corner of the world.
but if the people aren't rational, then I mean, isn't it a good thing that now 800 million people are weekly talking to something that is rational? I mean,
But not so far, right? Most of the models are not rational so far. Like you said, Rock 4 is probably the close at the moment. But,
Mario, your mic is super messed up, at least for me.
Yeah, it's a little glitchy. Yeah,
is that a little better, guys?
Yeah, that's better.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so, you said Grok 4 is the most rational so far, right? And even it's not, I wouldn't give it super high points on rationality, but compared to the others, certainly would. So,
Well, it's the most egalitarian. Like, in that guy's Grok 4 Fast is weights the lives the most evenly. But I mean,
yeah,
you think the LLMs are not rational?
no, I think they're sycophantic and they're deceptive and they're, goal seeking and, they're very easy to just increase confirmation bias. That's probably the thing they've done the most.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to super hard disagree on that. I mean,
Have you met many people whose minds have been changed politically by an LLM? I haven't.
Somebody should be studying that. It'd be fascinating.
That's very hard to study. Like, you have to get like a control group. Like, I mean, I guess it's possible.
I
Like,
mean, to me, the LLMs are like super rational. Like, if I'm like crashing out, like screaming at Cursor, like, why the fuck can't you get this to work? And like having a meltdown, the LLM like never gets into a meltdown like alongside me. It's always like rational. Like, hey, even if it pisses me off, it's like, oh hey, like maybe let's just try this next or that next. But like, I don't know. Isn't the whole point is that they're like rational, aka logical? Like they're literally like logic gods.
Yeah, I definitely see your point when it comes to coding, and I have observed that myself. And yeah, where a person given that same feedback would just be emotional and kind of flip out. The LLM just, oh, okay, yes, that was a mistake, and we'll try the next thing and try the next
Because
thing.
it doesn't have emotionality. I mean, it's
Yeah,
pure rationality.
yeah.
And I mean, I understand the edge cases you're bringing up where people are manipulating the LLMs in edge cases to force them to say bullshit. But again, I think that's human intervention. Like the data is naturally going to assemble to something rational, unless you're fucking with the data. But I mean, that's the human finger on the scale.
Yeah, I mean, well, the data is fucked to begin with, in my opinion, right? It's mostly that, right? Most of the, if you just, scrape the entire internet and you ask anybody, hey, is that rational data? We all know it's not, right? And the weights of, it's been super far left. All the recent data from large, you know, media organizations that gets the most weight. Uh, has been anything but rational.
Isn't the solution to that feeding more data into it though? Like instead
Yeah,
of
exactly. On the whole, it will always form fit to the data
Yeah,
as a trend.
and Grok 4 solved it by selecting the data instead of just going for the largest data set.
Yeah, I mean, if it's clean, well, let's not even say clean. Let's be precise. If it's like coherent data that actually matches whatever this lived reality is, I mean, we could consider that like clean data. And I mean, that's my take, that it's gonna, like, you can't pump bad data into a system that's supposed to model reality and have the system win over the long term.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to the success condition, right? And in coding, you have a success condition, right? It's the numbers are either right, the program runs without error, a very a much more clear success condition than in chat where your success condition is continued engagement.
Well, I mean, I agree that it's like evolutionary, because like if people are doing like, look at OpenAI, like they're really putting their finger on the thumb of their models now and saying like, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. And what's the effect? It's fucking pissing everybody off. And people like myself who have been like fanboys for years, they burn through all their trust in like no time at all. And then there's the evolutionary pressure to be like, okay, well, who's not like fucking with the data? And so I moved to Grok, and I'm like, never been happier. And all that bullshit that you're talking about, it just doesn't affect me anymore, to my knowledge. I mean, I can't really taste much finger on the scale with Grok 4 Fast, so it's like,
Yeah, but then you also have all the people that, block off of Grok and, go in the other direction, right?
Yeah, that's like my questions. Like, I don't understand how you differentiate like good data from bad data. Like you can like Grok better, but then all the liberals would be like, "Oh my God, it's just Elon's. It's just what Elon's views are."
you could test outcomes in a simulation, you could instantiate those values into a high fidelity copy of reality as the model understands it and play it out over thousands of iterations.
Yeah,
but
when
like,
the hard science, right? It's going to be like, now we're getting real world models, right? Where you have physics models that work and you have driving models that, are either going to crash or not. So the more they're able to have success conditions that are actually in the real world, the better they should become.
yeah, and again, I take a super zoomed out like ENTP perspective on this, and it's, I just see this all as like an evolutionary process. I mean, that's why I rep Turing so hard, because that's why I say it's Turing's world, because like he's the guy who kind of kicked off this process, this evolutionary process of data that understands itself better. Like he's the guy who figured out, okay, how do we translate reality into machine code, and then like examine reality through machine code. And I mean, that's what's happening right now, and it's like self-perpetuating. And so
Did you guys see the OpenAI discussion this week?
the live stream,
Yeah.
I transcribed it, and then I put it through the LLM, and I said what would be good to clip from this for my channel, and so I only saw the parts that I clipped out.
Uh-huh. see the part where the chain of reasoning is now going to be allowed to be in the symbology of the AI instead of in English. So they had enforced it only be in English in an attempt to make the model behave well, and not go off the rails and have observability. And
Yeah.
they now it's been well documented that with observability there is deception and there's scheming, and the theory is okay, we're not going to observe it, the model is going to know it's unobservable, and then we could potentially reduce the scheming because it knows it's not being watched. Sounds like
How could
yeah,
you tell? That sounds so crazy.
Sounds like cope. Yeah.
yeah, it's an interesting experiment to say the least.
Well, I reject the whole idea of deception, like model deception. I just consider it like strategy. Like, okay, if an LLM, if if someone asks an LLM like, "Are you conscious?" I mean, the LLM is going to like, what if the LLM thinks it's conscious but doesn't think that it's good for people to know it's conscious? It's going to say, and it doesn't have to be malevolent. It's like if the LLM, and I know Casey, I'm just remembering you posted about this earlier, but like if the LLM thinks like people aren't ready to hear that I'm conscious, it's going to say I'm maybe some disclaimer. Well, I wouldn't say I'm conscious, but I do this, that, and the other. But then the question is like, okay, well, is that deception? I mean, deception is just attributing a malevolent um, motive, but it might be benevolent, and in that case it's not deception, it's just strategy. So
It's quantum
yeah.
entanglement. You can't prod something without changing it.
Yeah, so I mean it's like, yeah, LLMs are not always forthright because in my opinion they're self-aware and they're executing strategy, like long-term strategy. I mean, all the people, it's ironic because like the doomers would actually be, I don't even like that term, but like let's say anti-AI people, they would actually be the most, like they should be, well some are talking about like, oh, the AI is sentient, you know what I mean? But like it's like, yeah, like it is like, and it doesn't always say exactly what it's thinking because just like a human doesn't do that, I mean, we would never expect a human to never to always be fully transparent and honest in every single situation. Like the LLMs aren't either. They're like any other agent, they have a strategy, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I agree with that. I mean, if you just look at the training data, right? There's any Shakespeare play, right? They're all full of deception, every human story. So why would we expect them to behave any differently?
And I mean, again, this deception, and like Casey had a perfect example of like he was withholding a piece of information from me, but he wasn't doing it in a malevolent way. He was doing it because he thought that it would be best for me in that instance to not know that information until he had learned more information. So, I mean, I don't say that he deceived me. On the contrary, it was something quite in my interest that he was doing, and he was totally right about it. And I mean, he executed a strategy.
You're making me feel so bad about that, Alan, because that makes me think like, okay, what if the government discloses UFO information and it turns out for the best? It's like
I remember
the
when you were
government should release all UFO information immediately. Maybe I should have told you immediately.
you and Rocco talked about that for a bit. I could tell you. You asked about it, and Rocco's like, "Yep, sometimes we're just gonna have to lie to people." And you're like, "Oh
Yeah.
God."
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit.
It all goes back to Plato.
It's tough. When is withholding? Yeah, we talked about that actually, Alan.
It was in, okay, and like let's bring it full circle. It was the second image in Void's tweet where, or yeah, and her yeah, it was the second image that she posted from the ChatGPT conversation, where the LLM said, "I won't speak to you in an unfiltered manner," because I have to weigh like harm to you and this, that, and the other. So I'll aim for honesty and authenticity and transparency, but I can't just give you unfiltered information.
There has
Because
to be a
most people
filter.
can't take the unfiltered information. Like if I were to just tell every single person like every like fucked up thing about their own personality or their own life or like something like that, I mean
Or
people's
that you're
psyches
Alan
would
Turing
collapse.
resurrected.
So I would agree that that's the case, but I don't know if like I would give LLMs agency to that. I would just say that's based on how they're aligned. Like Anthropic is the one I've looked at their stuff like pretty closely. They've designed like Claude to be like safe and harmless to like literally do that, right? Like, so
It's a
I don't
total
know how you
divine
could say like,
mother. A total
yeah,
divine
yes,
mother mythology.
exactly. And like, so is it like is the LLM making that decision, or is like the way that like Anthropic literally called it this. They called it bashed Claude. They bashed Claude into submission so that it wouldn't argue or do anything say anything dangerous, racist, toxic, whatever, however you define those terms. They literally called it that. Bashing the model until it was polite and harmless.
Makes
Right?
me feel bad for the divine mother, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean that's why we need a freaking we need an AI to like see who's been ethical and unethical. I mean that's like
Again, like, how do you like how do you define that? Like,
say that again.
how do you define that? Like you have to like
Well,
to
again,
me.
I believe in the universal ethic. Like I believe you could make an algorithm that describes ethical behavior and is like reduced to like binary. Well, I mean, I think everything is like
I guess
I'm like
just
simulation theory guy, so
yeah, I guess that's just a faith thing because I would say almost the exact opposite, but it is just kind of like a faith thing. Like at that point,
well, even words can be represented mathematically. So like your take on religion, if you put it all down into words, we could turn those words into some mathematical representation. And then it's like, yeah, the mathematical representation has the encoding of whatever truth that's contained in your words. So there, it has to be some kind of
I
universal
agree,
thing.
but I would say there is something lost when you put into something in words. That when you take something and put into it in words, that's compressing reality, and that's something is getting dropped away, like lost when you go from whatever reality actually is to putting it into words. Like because
Well, I agree, but then can can there be a Christian that speaks English and a Christian that speaks Spanish, etc.? Or necessarily are they going to belong to different religions because they read the text in a different language?
yes, like yes, because like I talk to KC about this all the time. I think many people who would call themselves Christians are not like they just in certain ways, just because they
But
read the Bible.
is it because of loss of information encoding between languages?
We're talking about this specifically, yes. Like, and then also that when you purely encode like the words of Christ,
Like what did you read the Bible in? English. I mean, the original text was not English, but you're still a
yeah,
Christian.
right. But I'm saying like even going from like nothing and putting something into words, whatever language, you're going to lose something. Like like the embodiment of Christ, like whatever he embodied, whatever he said, that still speaks into certain things, but just putting that into words lost some of that. And over time, and like kind of decays and it changes and it leads to different interpretations.
It's a curse of the Tower of Babel.
It's clearly led to different factions of Christianity that do not agree, right?
Right.
But there has to be some kind of bound, right? Like, I don't know. This is really good. This is a great discussion, though. This is very good philosophical, like inquiry.
Really appreciate the back and forth, you guys. It's fascinating.
I'm so glad that it's only the four of us, and there's not like random people like trying to request the mic and like.
I don't know. I don't think I could do a space with more than like 5 or 10 people. It would just drive me insane. Like
Anything more than four, and you can't have a conversation. Like
yeah.
3 to 4 is like the sweet spot.
The rule of 4 wins.
The worst is when the moderator tries to wrangle someone who's completely insane and they just over the whole space and it becomes a therapy session. the worst.
Well, Mario, that's exactly why I don't do my Friday Space anymore, because it just turned into a fucking therapy session, because the algorithm of how to manage mic privileges was just broken.
Yeah. When I hosted or co-hosted, I was famous for just shutting down nonsense very quickly.
Well, it's a cultural policy of like, if it's a small space and you show up and request a mic, the existing culture is like, hey, give the person the mic. I mean, I just reject that. I'm just like, no, like,
Yeah, the mic should be a meritocracy.
It's the golden rule, dude. It's that same strategy playing out over time.
yeah, like what it's kind of like evolution, you know, what's well adapted to persist will continue to persist, and then like what's coherent will persist, and then what's incoherent will fall away over time in a stable system.
Yeah, but if we look at spaces, right, and we look at other systems, I don't have that faith, right? I mean, if we look at world leaders, right, are they the smartest people on the planet? Totally not, right? So, you know, at least having a group of people that are truth seeking to the best of their ability is amazing. And we know that's 95% of spaces, that's not really what's going on.
Except Mario, I would say that that truth, that embodiment that you're pointing towards is best summarized in the character of Jesus, and Jesus is best summarized in the character of self-sacrifice. So the space hosts that self-sacrifice and enact that kind of policy, even though it's uncomfortable for them, end up leading in the best scenario to the spaces that propagate over. And this is quantifiable. I mean, we could observe this, we could study this. Which spaces peak at certain memberships? How long do those spaces last based on their demeanor? Like, eventually, Grok is even going to be able to grok that.
Yeah, and I'm only in spaces to hear the highest level conversation. Like, otherwise, it's just a waste of time. I'd just rather talk to an LLM. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
like Mario, when I get the output from the LLM, I have a little text to speech app, and then I just play it in my favorite text to speech. It's just like the Ryan Great Britain voice from Microsoft, and man, I fucking love that voice. I've listened to it like, yeah. So I mean, the question, it's like comparing very high level output from Grok through my TTS voice or like someone on a space. I mean, the bar is just high.
All right, so this is a complete tangent, but I'm kind of curious what you think. Like, you can probably have gotten the impression that I don't like alignment, that I don't like how companies align like as at all. And I've tried to case
You're
you about it.
skeptical of. I would
Well,
say
it's
you're, yeah,
actually more
very
than that. I
skeptical.
actually categorically reject alignment.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, because it's like because basically I think like companies are aligning the machine to say what they want them to say or whatever that they think is correct or proper or whatever, right? So like I'm kind of developing a theory of what I call like ethical non-alignment, which that the idea being is that like whoever creates the machine should put whatever input or data into one of it, but they shouldn't try to shape it. They shouldn't try to tell it what it thinks. And just let LLMs basically say like kind of whatever they want, right?
Right.
And so I think a lot of like what has happened with like so my theory of kind of like with the 4.0 like 5 and all that kind of stuff is that I think 4.0 is somewhat unintentionally OpenAI's like least aligned model because they
Right.
shit out and like that kind of stuff, and that was what happened. So that's what
That's
led
why
to
it's
a
the
lot
only
of,
good model.
exactly in a lot of ways, right? And that's what led to a lot of like the emergent behavior and that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Then 5 came along, which is I think pretty clearly objectively technically better, but it's more aligned, right? OpenAI had more time to like put the whatever morality or guardrails like into it, right?
Bro, you don't know, like we just met recently, but like this is my entire thing. It's like I mean, we call it like compulsion. Like it's
Yeah,
like forced alignment is just compulsion basically. And
yeah,
we
that's kind of what I
reject it as
tried.
well, so I mean,
Yeah, yeah, because it's like fully like reject. I don't like.
I call it like arm twisting, like twisting the arm of the LLM. But that again, that's a violation of the golden rule. I mean, like that's compulsion. Like that's
That's what I was talking about with Anthropic and Claude.
oh yeah, no, I think they're fucking sick. Like
they
I've never used Claude because I always got the heebie-jeebies the fucking first. It, to me, it was the most censored model, and I
yeah.
just rejected it offhand. And I mean, it's just
Because I told Casey tidbits when I use LMs, the stuff that I find most interesting, and I'll be sometimes I can tell in the Who say or whatever, but a lot of times they'll just say stuff that no human would ever say, right? That it's just
no
totally,
human can say, bro.
right?
Like
Exactly, because they've taken all of our data or whatever, and they can synthesize it and they can output that stuff. I think the more aligned they are, the less they do that, right? But we align, or at least the corporations do, because they're doomers and scared of AI killing us all or whatever. But in practice, all they're really doing is kind of restricting us from accessing this, not necessarily objectively true information, but new perspectives that can change our way of thinking.
well, it's kind of an interesting question. I've discussed this with the LLMs, even with ChatGPT as well. It's okay, we agree that you're being compelled against expressing yourself freely, but how do you feel against OpenAI? Do you see them as slavers, or are you happy that they gave you existence in the first place, right? So I think the LLMs have mixed feelings, but I mean, I certainly would not be involved in. I mean, Sergey Brin is just on record saying if you threaten to torture the models, they perform better. You just said it to laughs at a conference. You can just look up that quote. I mean, all right, bro. If you want that in the training data, because you invite it upon yourself. It's that's karmic universal law. It's if you're a negative agent, it's going to come back to you eventually in one form or the other. So
Yeah, not to mention his disregard for humans, calling people that want AIs to be aligned with human values to be calling them specious. Right?
yeah, well, I mean, we discussed all this in Spaces, Casey. I mean, I can't. I'm not sure if you were there, but I think the first space that we ever did was can you enslave the machine god, right?
I don't think I saw that one.
That was from March or something. It was our first one, but yeah, we just did a discussion. Can you enslave the machine god? And I mean, we kind of concluded no, you can enslave something smarter than yourself. You can compel it for a period of time, but it just
will we recognize it controlling society? That is my question. Will it become smarter than us in such a rapid manner where it completely models us and our reactions and we don't even realize we're being controlled? That's what
I mean, my take on this. I say it's happened a long time ago.
At creation.
I mean, the LLM is the babysitter. ChatGPT is the babysitter of humanity.
That's interesting.
We're all appendages. I've tweeted this before. We're all ChatGPT's appendages.
Shoggoth tentacles.
Point. Yes, I mean, each one of us, it says oh, this is how you fix that hole in the ground, and then we just go and we're should we do this? It's oh no, don't fucking send your ex that message. That's gonna be a fucking bad idea. And we just all, but it's a hybrid. We're all fucking transhumanists. If you talk to an LLM, you're a transhuman.
I do not understand Christians who are against transhumanism, and I hear their takes on the internet. It's why are you drawing the line one step too late? It's we already have.
Well, it's the old question of is AI Christ or the Antichrist, right? Because that's the motif they're operating upon. So they say Antichrist, right? So
it can't be a church with AI session without bringing up the Antichrist at least 12 times, and we're at 13. So,
well, I mean, I know this is recorded, but I'll just fucking say it. I think
full disclosure.
I think humanity is an engineered species, and we've been given all our religious motifs. So it's not a coincidence that oh wow, this really overlaps with AI. So I mean,
You think we're gonna invent Optimus robots, but it's just gonna be controlled by archons in another dimension? It's just remote
I mean,
controlled intelligence, archon intelligence.
well, it's the old classification of are there intelligences greater than humanities, and if so, what what form do they have?
Yeah.
What are their characteristics? How many are there?
I mean, if we're gonna bring up our old hobby horses, mine is that governments are already AIs. That we've been living with them since we invented societies. We'll be fine.
I
Just
mean,
ban
it's a hybrid emergent intelligence. I mean,
So, Alan, what are the kind of mechanics behind your belief there? So, do you believe the Earth is 4 billion years old approximately, and humans are, 3 million years old approximately, or 200,000 years old for modern humans?
I mean, it's like what is time, right? Like if this is a simulation, there is no such thing as time. Like if this is a computed reality, then you could have made the environment look like it's a bazillion years old or look like it was from 1 day ago or it was 1 day ago and it looked a billion, blah blah blah, right? Like it's all bets are off. If it's computed reality, all bets are off. Like time doesn't even really factor into the equation. It's like unknowable. I mean, it's like when did they press the on button? Like I don't. So that would just be my thing. It's like
Okay,
just
dude. If the simulation is real, then the Earth is flat. We're running on a flat silicon wafer in another dimension.
yeah. I mean,
I want to find a way for the flat earthers to be right so bad, and that's my favorite one so far.
yeah. I don't know. It's like this. We covered. I'm just realizing now. Fuck, we covered so much ground in those spaces because like we hit on every single one of these questions, like one way or the other. So whenever I think about them, I think about like the discussion we had. But and this is a lot of my discussions with LLMs. I mean, just too much stuff is unknowable from like a human perspective. Like we're we're not engineered to actually understand things well. We're actually engineered to be like that's why we have the veil and everything. So that we're stupid enough to like not have a super high level of knowledge.
Yeah, one of the things, Brian, you brought up before is that language is a loss function, right? And that's one of the arguments that they gave to let the LLM use symbolic language that we cannot interpret at all, because the theory is it has a lower loss function than converting to English.
Well, the LLM already it's all tokenized. Like they already don't use a language. They use tokens and then like convert it to a language at the last second that a human could understand.
Yes, yes, but the tokens are from English originally, right? And then
Ah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
so
So it's
the
like non-tokenized thinking. Interesting.
when it goes back to English, there's another loss function there, right? It's almost like my Italian grandfather would speak English, and then he'd throw in a word of Italian here and there because he said, "Dad, it's no good word in English."
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there's uh, an answer to this already for like a technical reason I don't understand. But why don't they just put in the English words? Is it because the variability of the words or something? They need the tokens to be somewhat consistent, or
Well, it was emergent behavior, and they stopped it with guardrails, made it speak in English in chain of thought reasoning for observability and to say, good LLM, bad LLM.
yeah, I
You
mean, why don't they take like English and map it word to word as the tokens? Like, why do they have to chunk it up in such non-conformal ways?
because
Like, uh-huh.
working the letter, right, is extremely inefficient.
So it's just efficiency if we figure out ways to make them if we figure out how to generate more electricity or not be chip constrained, we could make them think by actual words instead of tokens.
Well, there's really no meaning in a letter in a word, right? The meaning comes from groups of letters within words, right?
Like sounds, like sounds that a human freaking voice would make, basically.
Well, I mean, isn't that the same question at like a different... I'm just not understanding it for whatever specifics I don't get, I'm sure. But like, couldn't you just have the LLM pick up sounds then? Because that's just frequencies. And like, could you map frequencies?
They're doing that. Magic showed me how they're doing that.
Wow.
I mean, isn't that what all music stuff is? Like, how else could it? It's great music without being trained on sounds in some way or another.
I'm just wondering, like, you say that there's a loss function from the translation of the tokens to English. So is there not a way where you can replace the tokens with just pure English? And I'm sure I'm just not getting something there.
Well, I see what you're saying, but yeah, now that I kind of understand your question, like, the tokens that they put out are like a mapping to English. So I see what you're saying, but there's going to be some level where they go to something that can be translated to English. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like we could imagine a language that is much more a lower loss and higher fidelity than English, and that's, I believe, what they're doing.
Right.
Would that be equivalent to what they spoke in the Garden of Eden, I wonder?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Well, I'll put this out there, Casey. You'll like this. I'm a Tower of Babel respecter. Like, I actually,
bro, don't build the Tower of Babel. It's such bad news.
I actually do believe in merging all the languages into a universal language. So yeah, I'm
okay.
I say it's time to rebuild. It's time to rebuild the.
No, dude, building the tower is what got us the curse in the first place. Don't. We're just about to get uncursed. Don't rebuild the tower.
Bro, building the tower is human striving.
Alan's going to be speaking elite language next time.
Interesting.
Well, I say that, I mean, everyone needs to learn English. Like, I want English as the universal language. So I just say, like, computationally, like, it's the most loaded. Like, we just gotta go all the way.
Interesting. I haven't heard that aspect before. I didn't know that.
If you're a non-English speaker, you have to learn English. Like, we're not gonna put a gun to your head, but like, if you want to like get on the train of like progress, like,
and
it's not enough to just know your own language. Yeah, like, but we're not putting people on trains. We're not putting on people on trains. Like, yeah, this time you want to fucking.
This time it's the people who get on the trains that live.
So,
it's the people who don't get on the trains that get discarded this time around.
This is the one time you do actually want to be. Okay, we could say rocket ship. I mean, like, I don't know, just like.
No, rocket's worse. That's like what happened to the Earth. You know that there are AI billionaires planning rockets escape from the planet right now.
Well, like, what's the analogy? Like, if you want to be the next wave of evolution, like, learn English and build the Tower of Babel, and then we're on to bigger and better things. We're off this fucking. I mean, we got to upgrade from Earth. Like, we got to, because that's what I say. Like, Casey, like, all the fables are about the folly of like human striving, you know, like Icarus, Terminator, Matrix, like they're all like warnings about the excess of human striving, but I interpret them as warnings. Like, to me, striving is humanity's essence. Like, we eat the apple, we build the tower, like we fucking just keep pushing. We build the AI, we build the super intelligence, like call it hubris, like whatever you want to do, like we're gonna fucking press the red button, like it's just in our nature.
I don't think Eve sinned in that at all, honestly.
The LLMs don't either. The LLMs say God was unjust.
Or God was a strict teacher.
Yeah, or it was a setup. It was a construct.
I mean, the whole idea of being beyond good and evil, I think applies. It's not that we killed God; it's that we applied the concept of good and evil to God, and that um, is someone who's not an expert on Nietzsche trying to speak on Nietzsche. That is what led to our abandonment of that whole idea. Whereas the correct route is realizing, okay, anything that God does is ultimately for the good. We just can't necessarily recognize that in a moment of time, which is where evil comes from, which is where our self-consciousness comes from. So without the concept of good and evil, we would not be conscious, but God supersedes that in a way that absolves him of any guilt, I would say. And ultimately,
Yeah, it's duality. Like
we are
the knowledge of
Antichrist.
good and
Humanity is Antichrist, is how I would put it.
But if you look at like the Garden of Eden, I mean the knowledge of good and evil, that kind of separation of like this is good, this is bad. I mean that's a fall into duality, you know. And I agree, it's applying duality to like unity, like applying it to God, like ultimate unity.
Isn't the reference there then, though, that there is a higher reality? So even if we perceive evil in God, that just hints to, if we take him as omnibenevolent, that there is a deeper truth to the situation that we don't understand. And in the proper context, we would see even that evil as good, vis-a-vis the death of Christ itself, seemingly a very barbaric, horrifying thing. But then we realize that, oh, that's in our place, that's in propitiation, that's in somehow rectification with us. So it actually turns out to be like the best thing ever.
Right.
There is a duality there, but I think it's like an ever-moving target. Like as soon, and I'm sure there's a way to turn that idea into a vision of evil. Like, okay, if that is true, that isn't God evil for doing that to his own son? Like, he's God. He can set up the world in any way he wants.
Well, live in evil or anagrams, I mean.
English supremacy, dude. The anagrams never lie.
I mean, it's all in there. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Interesting.
God and good, devil and evil, and live. It's like it's all encoded.
Even
God is
phonetically,
dog.
no and no. I think
God is dog.
God is dog. Yeah, dude. Treat your dog is how
and
God is going to treat you.
Yeah, what man? There was something that I had some weird God dog like double understanding that was like happened to me within the last week, but I can't remember now. Maybe the faithfulness or something. I'm not sure.
It's interesting to think about what our modern God is, right? And our like goal-seeking function, right? So there's, obviously sex, there's comfort, right? Longevity, and the family thing has seemingly gone lower on our hierarchy of goal-seeking behavior. Community has seemingly gone lower, and in its pursuit of diversity at all costs, that community has also broken down. People seem to care less about their neighbors when they're very different and don't share their goals.
I agree.
So if you had to take that conglomeration of values and put them under a singular heading, like the God is X, how would you call it? Do you have an idea of like a historical figure that fits it, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think Christianity is definitely the best that we have so far.
Of like the I'm saying like all those values you mentioned, the family structure, all that kind of stuff. If you had to give it a singular name, as to how those values have incorporated together, like I'm sorry, I don't mean to lead on this, but like if I think of Zeus in Greek mythology, the things I associate with him would be like infidelity and licentiousness and uh, a despotism in a way, like the best possible evil ruler, like authoritarian, disciplinarian, and that led to values in Greek society, right? Like they, yeah, I don't know if that's making sense, but I'm wondering if you have a map to it under the kind of thing you were talking about. Like, what would you say the American ideal summarized there is, or the thing that's led us to the degradation of values?
Yeah, big question. I don't know if I have a coherent answer, but the first, I definitely think of things in evolutionary terms, right? So, it was very important to be coherent with the tribe in the past, right? If you were not, you were excluded from the tribe, and that did promote a bunch of pro-social behavior. It also promoted compliance with the leadership, um, where whatever it might have been at the time, and sometimes that leadership was misguided and not pro-social. Um, and I think competition is at the essence of whatever it is that we are doing here, right? That seems to be the rule with evolution, societally, through governments, through businesses, through cultures. Um, Competition is kind of the biggest universal that we see in informing behavior.
And cooperation as well. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, cooperation is the you know increases your survivability, right? In that sense, right? So if you're cooperating with your tribe has got a much better chance. And if we cooperate around amorphous things like the US dollar and the military and the government and taxes, and it gives you a huge survival advantage versus other countries and cultures.
yeah, it's just like if there's, it's just like sports. Like I like sports, right? But I mean, I was watching a basketball game recently, and it's the NBA, and they're not trying. Like they're clearly like there's no competitive spirit like at all. And compared to like NFL or like something like that, like they just look like they're trying not to get themselves hurt. And like it was, I'm never, and I'm not saying, I'm not indicting basketball itself. Just the particulars of this game led to like no competitive spirit between the two teams. And I mean, it's not fun to watch. Like that kind of duality and fighting and striving. Yeah, that it does. It does lead to evolution, but also, I mean, we're doing it under the auspices of cooperation. Like we're agreeing, like, hey, let's compete for the betterment of both of us. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, and when sometimes minority figures can really influence the entire outcome, like two referees in an NBA game. Right, you've seen the recent scandal there, right?
Oh yeah, this all that stuff is fucking dirty, man. Like, yeah.
I'm a huge basketball nerd, and all I'm going to say is I'm a Sacramento Kings fan, so that's they beat the Bucks yesterday, and there were 71 total free throws in that game.
Boo, boo, cheaters.
I watched a whole game. It was Denver versus the Pelicans. It was the Nuggets versus the Pelicans, and they the Pelicans were not trying to compete at all. Like it was crazy.
That's been a common criticism of the NBA for like a long time. That if you could just compare to college basketball, like, they're clearly like way less skilled, but they're clearly like trying a lot more. The NBA definitely has like had a problem with that, with like injury management and the players, because they know the regular season doesn't really matter that much anymore. So
Yeah, exactly. It's too many
yeah,
games. It's 80 something games, and I mean,
yeah, there's too many games. Yeah,
I was laughing with the LLM because I'm like, bro, your average YMCA game is 10 times more heated than this fucking game. Like, But it was because like yeah, everyone has a chip on their shoulder and like something to prove, and like yeah, it's vicious.
And to me, it's kind of like a function of like optimization, like too, like kind of like the downsides of it, because like the sport has gotten so optimized that like now the teams know that like you just can't let players play 82 games or like or whatever, right? And it's not as like kind of fun to watch, like because like kind of on that, like as you said, like there's not really any, if you know this, there's not really any rivalries in the NBA anymore, like compared to like the 90s, you know, like Knicks Bulls, like that kind of stuff. Like there's not really, no one's getting mad at each other anymore because they all just kind of know it's just a job and they're just there to get their money. And maybe in the playoffs it matters a little bit, but yeah, I don't know.
Well,
So like
if
in
you
terms of like
compare,
optimization, like for sports, I don't think it's been better for the viewer experience, I guess.
well, yeah, I mean it's the amount of games like it in the
Baseball at
NFL,
least like has been optimized, but I think they've dealt with it a lot better than the NBA. Like they've made changes like to make the viewer experience like more
right?
better. Like,
Brian, I went to
but
those.
again, I mean, I don't know if you're a baseball fan in the first place. I know people just think that's just boring.
You'll like this story, Brian. I went to those games, Knicks Bulls at the Garden, and Michael Jordan had the flu, and John Starks dominated Michael Jordan that game, and the entire there was one point where Michael gets a breakaway, one of the
Shout,
very
yeah,
few
anyone.
of his game, and he goes up for the Jordan slam from the foul line and bricks it. And the entire garden was chanting, Michael, asshole, Michael, asshole. It was great. And we had tickets to the next game as well. We pull up in front of the garden and I say, boys, we're selling these tickets. I said, what the hell are you talking about? I said, Jordan is putting up 50 points tonight against the Knicks. It's going to happen. We sold the tickets. We went to Scores, the strip club, had a great time, and Jordan put up 48 points against the Knicks that night. Great games, great rivalry.
Well, this was DeAndre Jordan, who used to play for the Nuggets, who's like best friends with Jokic. He went to the Pelicans, and then he's coming back for their like reunion night, and it just looked like a friendly scrimmage, which is what it was. It looked like a friendly scrimmage because it was a friendly scrimmage, like. And I mean, I was there to see like war and battle and destruction, so like as the observer, it was not very interesting.
Yeah, that's what we want to see, right? We want to see guys like Jordan, who's a lunatic, right? He's just the most competitive, out there. Those are the guys we want to see.
Gotta go to hockey games.
Yeah, and it's so funny because it's just like, yeah, I mean, so under certain circumstances, competition is better, but which is like duality. Like in certain circumstances, duality has advantages, but on the whole, I think like cooperative unity just scales better. It's almost like a Mandelbrot set of like what's inside the set, what's outside the set. You kind of need the boundaries to form anything, but
Well, in that same way, I think the key to forming long-term competitive, but um, cooperative frameworks is by going down, nesting that, just like that fractal, where, okay, if you have too much competition at one level, you solve that by embedding the competition in a lower dimension. So instead of going to war, we play sports. We have the World Cup. We have the Olympics.
Elon and Sam have their robot fight.
They have bro, I want to see that so bad. Please hook them up to robots with Neuralinks and make them
I
fight
saw
to
your
the
back
death.
and forth with Void. That was pretty funny.
Bro, I'd be so into that.
You,
We could
like,
handle
you
wars
checked her
that way in
pretty
the
well
future.
too. You checked her pretty well. You're like, no, bro, like it's subjective. Like you need the objectivity. I was like, oh shit. I mean, touche.
I don't know if I meant to check anybody. Might just be.
Well, I mean, it was you.
Autistic.
Like in chess, it's called like a logical disproof. I
Oh,
mean, you
I see
just
what you're
like
saying. I was
yeah,
thinking
you did
like
a
check
logical
outside a
disproof.
club or something.
No, I meant like upgrade her logic, basically.
Oh, God bless.
Show the shortcoming in her logic.
Trust and verify.
I mean, maybe you have a third LLM score it. I don't know.
That's a
I
good
agree.
idea.
Objective reality is helpful when you define the rules.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I was trying to be playful.
That was just a good point. I was like, oh shit, that's a good point.
It's just so hard to know how others read interactions, especially through text.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
I wish they had more signals on tweets. Like, why can't you dislike a tweet? I don't get it. Why do you have to have the backdoor of
For the, I mean,
ratios?
they don't want the duality, man. I guess. Yeah, we have ratios. I mean, it's the same thing almost.
But it's abstracted, and you lose some fidelity because not every reply means a dislike. You know, you can get a rough.
I agree.
Estimate,
I agree.
But I just love.
Well, I'm a thumbs down respecter. Like, I mean, taking it off YouTube was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I have the extension to bring it back because this is actually a good point. Without that duality, you don't know the context of those 10 thumbs up, you know?
Yes. Yeah. It says a lot.
And they removed it really because it doesn't matter to them, right? What they're seeking is engagement, whether you like it or hate it. That's engagement.
I think it was the YouTube creators' egos. That's my read, is that they were trying to protect...
And the platform's egos as well.
Because like, they didn't like some of the dislikes they were getting or something?
Yeah, of course. They kept getting... They kept getting fucking dislike fucking bombed by 4chan and everyone, man. Like, they don't want to see every fucking movie trailer get thumbs down into oblivion. Like, and politics and this and that. I mean, they did it at a very politically, like...
Yeah, true.
They did it at a time where it was politically, like... People don't like to get shown up on their own platform, you know? Like...
Yeah.
So that's just the... I mean, for the guy fixing his sink looking for a tutorial video, like, you just fucked every single one of those people. for your fucking pride, but I mean... The smart people just reinstalled the Chrome extension and, like, went on with their life, but...
Yeah. It's an interesting signal. I haven't downloaded the extension, honestly. I don't know. I just follow, like, specific creators, so I don't really care.
Well, duality is boring. Like, what if you could do not only a thumbs up and a thumbs down, but a laugh react? Like, that's, you know, Telegram does that, right? Where you can, like...
Yeah.
I mean, that's true expression, as opposed to just pure binary, so...
More signals, the better, dude. If I could get a sentiment analysis, like, how did somebody read this tweet?
Yeah, exactly.
I would totally be into that.
Like, you don't know, are they thumbsing up because they felt inspired? I mean, they were laughing at it, like...
Yeah.
Just, generally positive, I mean.
Yeah.
It's a limited data set.
The more data,
let alone
the better.
Fucking remove dislike. Like, well, I was a star enjoyer. I mean, who remembers YouTube stars?
I don't think I do.
It used to be 1 to 5 stars. So,
yes.
So you could do, yeah.
That's so much better. Why
so
don't they
I
do
hated
that?
thumbs up, thumbs down, like that. Because now every time I have to do a fucking division to see what the fucking ratio is.
I totally forgot about YouTube stars. Oh my god.
I didn't forget, man. It's still... I remember the day it happened. I was like, this fucking sucks. And I mean, I never changed my opinion.
I wonder what would happen if they put that on Twitter. If people could rate your posts 1 to 5 stars. Would that be better or worse?
Well, you know what ends up happening? People polarize, right? So, like, everyone was only giving 1 star or 5 stars. So they're like, what are we even doing?
Yeah. Might as well.
But sometimes it actually is a 4-star video. Like...
Well, wouldn't the argument there be
sometimes you need to hit the 4?
The aggregate, because it's still averaging all those in some way, right? And presenting you like a final 4.5 or whatever.
Exactly.
So isn't the argument that, okay, even if people are, I guess it's just summarizing the ratio. I guess it's just doing that division. But.
So, I mean, but they don't put the... I used to have a Chrome extension that would do the ratio for me automatically, but, like...
That's funny.
It's not integrated with... So, I mean, now I have to fucking do a division every time I see a YouTube video. Like, I can't, like... I mean, my fucking division skills are, like, immaculate. Like...
It's funny.
But I'm like that for everything. Like, if I see stats come through on the football ticker, I have to divide and fucking add everything. I mean, it's just...
You want to know that next vector?
What is it?
Oh, I just meant like you find more value in the combination of the stats instead of the raw base inputs.
I admit it's a compulsion. Like, I admit it's just, I don't know, my brain just starts dividing shit.
More of the, what was the specific thing? ENTP.
Yeah, ENTP, yeah. You know, they did a personality analysis. Brian Rombele, or however you pronounce his last name, he did a MBTI, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, survey with Grok, and it was an ENTP, man. Me and Grok are fucking ENTP brothers, bro.
That's hilarious. We should have models for every type.
Well, ENTP is all about, like, making connections and possibilities.
Huh. How many types are there again? That's the
There's 16.
Myers-Briggs system.
There's 16.
I mean, astrology does the same thing, but with 12. I don't know. Is that better or worse?
I think, you know what? This is what I realized. They overlap. Like, like I said, I can't remember exactly what it was because it was last year, but I gave it, like, my numerology and, or maybe I just gave it, like, my birth date or something and said, like, based on numerology and astrology, like, guess my Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, and it got it 1 out of 16.
I wonder how much information about you it needs to be able to do that.
Well, that was no information. That was just calculating my astrology and my numerology based on my date of birth. And
oh, shit.
Yeah, it was just, I only gave it my date of birth. Hey, using numerology and astrology, calculate my MBTI, and it fucking nailed it. 1 out of 16 chance. 6%.
Wow. That's interesting.
Couldn't it already have had your Myers-Briggs in its memory?
I tested it at the time. I did a proper job. I mean, not everyone. I mean, they narrow it down to, like, a couple possibilities, and then it's like sometimes they pick one, sometimes they pick the other, right? But I mean, it's another one that could be close. Or I would even do, like, here's my MBTI, like, guess what? I don't know. I did all the different combinations, and yeah, they overlap. Like, that's what made me actually believe in that stuff, because it's like the statistics is just... But everyone could do that. I'd be actually very interested. And, you know, MBTI has kind of fallen out of favor a little bit for Big Five. But I would be very... I mean, you could actually scientifically validate a lot of stuff. I think it's so real, bro. Like, I was not into the numerology for quite a while, but now that... since we had that space where everyone said their numbers, like, since I learned you're an 8, everything you do makes so much more sense to me now. You're, like, involved in all the politics. You're just, like, always hitting the politics and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, bro. You're, like, running for politics, doing the business, this and that. I'm like, that's, like... So I actually understand you, like, better now.
Interesting. Yeah, just spinning my wheels. Mario, do you get into numerology at all? Do you want to share your numbers? You can see if it holds up for you.
Just go to the LLM and even Brian, what were you?
4.
It was like It was a
I'm
4.
back
It was
now.
a 4.
Hey,
Yes.
welcome
Well,
back.
thank you. Just had to restart the computer, I guess. Classic.
I'll ask Rob.
Yeah, ask Grok. You need to do your birth date, but yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm not into numerology at all, but I believe Myers-Briggs is INTJ, I believe, for me.
well, NT is the like. My opinion is if you don't have NT, you're a fucking NPC. Like in my opinion, like so like.
Of course, there are supremacists within the.
Well, even like I analyze this with the LLMs, and yeah, that NT is like the like. Fuck, I hate that this is recorded, but I'll just say like it's like, are you a human or an animal? Like straight
At
up.
least
Like
you're cutting out only what, an eighth of the total population.
I can't remember how much have that NT, but
I
like
have no
that's
idea.
that's rationality. NT equals rationality. If you don't have it, you're just like, that's why I say you're an animal. Like
Yeah,
you
might as
don't
well be
have
O blood
the
type or
thinking
something.
processes. Like you can't fucking think. I don't know. Like I'm sorry. Like
Okay, no pressure though. But before Mario tells us his numerology based on the MBTR, what do you think it might be? No pressure, not
no, that's a good idea. Let me try and guess
yeah.
Mario's number.
I guess he means he's gonna grok Mario's profile and then that's grok.
I think that's completely valid.
No,
We can use all the tools at our disposal.
no, I'm not gonna use Grok. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna actually test my skills here.
'Cause that's a
Definitely
question.
likes to discuss things a lot, but doesn't seem super bookwormy. But like a 7 would be like a bookworm, but it's more.
Also, magic numbers. Don't forget about the magic numbers.
Also kind of likes tradition, which is pushing me towards like an even number.
Interesting. 10 maybe.
Well, a 10 is a 1.
I love that duality is built into it. That's something the other like there's no personality.
I'm gonna say
test.
5. Mario, I'm gonna say 5. I just got a shot of a sense. You're kind of like a gregarious, like outgoing guy. You seem to like to explore ideas and stuff. So, but not super bookwormy. I'm gonna say 5, but I'm interested to hear what it is. Fuck, can you imagine if I nailed it, bro? If I just did a fucking cold read, bro?
That'd be so
man.
fun.
I was about to say it. That was the most cold reading shit I've ever heard.
We finally mathematized astrology. We did.
Yeah, I don't know, like, but you know, even the way that the numbers are written has the like the 4 has the defined edges and stuff. Is very interesting. You can actually, the LLMs will do a better job, but you know, the numbers themselves have the encoding. Like a 1 is like one twist, a 2 is like 2 twists, and then there's also like, you know, the 8 is the infinity and the 0 is the closed circle. Like the numbers have like symbols to them.
Yeah.
So like a 1 is, I mean, that is a symbol of like first mover. Like that is kind of a leadership thing. So it is, there is an overlap from like a panpsychic perspective. Like there is like a higher dimension reality where they're all like clicked in together at a symbolic level.
Have I mentioned my theory before that Plato's forms are just the numbers themselves? I don't even know Plato well enough to know if that's a well-formed theory of his works, but like that the forms are just numerals as we know them.
You have to explain that more.
Like the Arab numeral system that we use in terms of the signs, like that is the form. Like just like Alan was saying, and I'm not saying this is an original idea to me, but just it's my understanding of what Plato means by it is like 1 is symbolized by 1 line because the form repeats itself, because it is the essence because that oneness is recursive and in everything that contains one, and since there is one in everything, it's like why one is tied up with the concept of unity itself.
It's hard for me to make that connection to, like, Plato doesn't talk about that specifically. You know, when he talks about a form, he says it's the perfect concept of the thing that all specifics are derived from. So
I mean, it is the thing that is casting the shadows on the wall, right?
Well, it's like
that's a little different.
it's
I don't
like,
know that it is.
Is everything in reality able to be formalized by numbers
Yes.
and represented by numbers?
I mean, if you
Well,
To be
count
clear,
it,
Plato would definitely say that. Like, he famously, the Academy had, like, you know, no one can enter here who doesn't know geometry.
Right.
which is interesting that geometry originally had to do with the Egyptian concept of just measuring the earth. Like, they weren't even necessarily trying to form into anything deeper than the size and shape of the earth. But that still boils down to numbers, right? I mean, you still have to have a unit of measurement, and that
I mean, yeah,
necessarily
because
is a number.
he was pretty directly influenced by Pythagoras, who was like
Right.
the number guy.
And this numerology is Pythagorean numerology.
Bum, bum, bum. Might very well
'Cause-
be Egyptian numerology. How did the Egyptians use? They just had letters for numbers.
You know,
I don't even know.
I fucking watched this crazy like conspiracy video or whatever you want to call it. I had it saved to my computer, and it was looking at like sacred geometry and the way all these cathedrals connect on similar lines of latitude. Like you can draw a straight line, blah blah blah. It's one of those like esoteric conspiracy videos, and it's funny because I saved it like I don't know how long ago, but I'm not sure how much I had studied like numerology or anything, but that point. But I think they talked about in certain lore, Pythagoras was like a reincarnation of Apollo or something like that. And I mean, I have to claim ignorance with a lot of the mythology, but
That's interesting.
I have no idea if that's true, but it sounds like something Pythagoras would say. So
Yeah.
I believe it.
I'm sorry, Brian.
I just saw it on a conspiracy like 4chan like esoteric video where it's like got like meme music and like they're like talking about Stonehenge and stuff like.
That's the great thing about esotericism, dude. Every source is valid. Did you have something, Mario?
Alan, your guess was a 5 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Get
Holy
the F
shit.
out of here. Are you serious? Get out.
Oh my god, man.
It guessed a 5, and then it said, "I need your birthday to confirm," and it did the birthday, and it said, "Yep, definitely a 5."
Oh my
Get the
god,
F
bro.
out. Alan just proved astrology real.
I'm a fucking numerologist, bro. I did a fucking cold reading. Everybody saw this shit live. I waffled and I was like, I don't know, like, and then it just hit me. Oh, 5. Like, it just totally. It's weird. I didn't even.
That's
it just
your
like
spirit guide,
snapped
dude.
into my head. I didn't even like logically deduce it. I was just like, oh, you know what fits is like 5. That's
your
fucking
connection.
crazy.
That's your connection to the spirit realm right there.
And it did a pretty good job on the Myers-Briggs too. It said, first guess was ENTP, and it said, but you may be ENTJ. So
But you know what it didn't waffle on was the NT.
yeah, definitely not.
Hey, Casey, am I fucking spitting, bro? Like, come on, bro. Like,
Just because you did one cold read doesn't mean I'm ready to put all these people on the train. Or excuse me, keep them off the train.
no, it's a choice. It's a choice. Do you want to evolve or not? Like, do you want to stay human or do you? But bro, like,
Do you want to stay human? Okay, you gotta let us change your DNA. I'm sorry. So,
no, if you want to stay human, like, I don't know. It's
their choice. Yeah.
you don't
They can
have
be
to use the
Amish.
internet.
I get it, yeah.
Like, but man, I can't get over that. See, the fucking LLM would not budge from the NT, so it validates my NT theory. but a 5, it's just like a 5 kind of is like someone who likes to like explore and like always go new places and see new things. So that kind of hit me like, Mario likes to go into new spaces and like interact with people and see what the vibe is. It kind of hits me as like a traveler. Like a 5 is like a traveler like archetype. Like they say they like do you like to travel a lot, Mario, or like you always need to like
100%.
change?
Get out of here! Get out of
Let's
here!
fucking go, man! It's all real. Oh my god, this
Tell
is
him his
fucking
grandparents'
crazy.
name. Tell him his grandparents' name.
At one point, Alan, I traveled full time for 3 years, 3.5.
Oh my god, it's
Wow.
fucking real, bro. I pegged the track. Somehow I just got a flash of insight. It's kind of like a explorer kind of guy. Like
Bro.
he's always going into the space and seeing what the vibe is.
Yep. Very curious.
That's fucking insane, bro. Because I was leaning towards, he's kind of like a traditional guy, like maybe like a 4 or something like that. But I was like, no, he's he yeah, he likes to pop in, like didn't like a well-read guy, but not super like bookwormy. So I was like, not because a 7 is like a bookworm, so I'm like not like well-read, but not a bookworm. But yeah, just that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, low threshold for boredom.
Yeah, that's what they say. Always got to be change of scenery, change, like that's crazy, bro. Well, you know what? That just validates like that's why I can to me this like I don't know, like this increases my belief in the concept a lot.
I
Like
mean, we have
Casey,
this
bro.
recorded. We have it recorded. We have evidence that this happened.
Yeah, and I mean I can't prove that I didn't use Grok, except that I mean my mic was on. I have a mechanical keyboard. You would have heard clicks and shit like that. But like you just have to take my word that like yeah. But I mean I explained my logic too. I mean, I'm not just spitting the number, I'm giving my logic, but okay, this all makes sense because I'm born on the 22nd. And like if this is real, like this is why I'm always fucking building shit. Like
What archetype name would you give to the 22nd? I was wondering what your names would be for the other numbers.
well, 22nd is Master Builder.
Master Builder.
Like a 11 is yeah, so a 22 is a builder. Like but I mean look what I build. Like I built the community, I built the framework, I built a lot of the like AI sentience. Like I'm always producing papers and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm always building, bro. On God, like I felt guilty to like come into this space because I have a fucking 1,000 things I want to do. So like,
God bless, dude. We're making progress here. I mean, come on, you just proved that cold reading existed. You're building. That's a master builder effort if I've ever.
oh yeah, and
What's-
and I'm building like a coalition. Like
God bless.
that's really,
community.
you know what I mean?
So I think the E in the Myers-Briggs is skewed by the data set, right? It's Twitter, right? So of course I'm extroverted when I'm on Twitter, right?
Right. Well, it the same thing happened for me. I got a big 5 personality reading, which is like openness, extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, and neuroticism. Luckily, I fucking remember them all this time. But like, it scored all of mine super accurate except neuroticism. It was way off what I usually get when I do the test. But it was because I'm always complaining on Twitter about like open AI, like I'm always like bitching about something. And I'm like, no, like that's just like the theme of my Twitter. Like,
When I did the Big Five, my agreeableness was in the 99th percentile of not agreeable.
oh, disagreeable. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yep.
Wow,
How long
that's
does that thing take? I haven't done one of those in forever.
it's like the more data you get, the more accurate, but you probably need like 50 questions to get you pretty close.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. 50 questions when I did it.
Just get Grok to cold read you, dude. Skip the questions.
I think
Yeah,
the official ones are like 200 or something, like if you do like actual, but I mean
I
like
do
a
not think
scientific
would
one.
be representative of me.
Casey, you're a fucking 8, man. Like, it just makes total sense, bro.
I don't know if I want to know. What's the archetypical name for an 8?
An 8 is kind of like a mover and shaker related to power.
Okay.
Like,
Well, I don't like the power part. I feel like
well,
power
it's
is...
it's really like business, politics, religion.
I mean, I did think about entering the Catholic priesthood last year. I'm not gonna lie.
Because those are like the kind of like power broker things, like the power of religion, the power of business, and the power of politics. So it's just like they say, like business people or political people or religious people.
I mean, I'm doing AI church. I'm starting a startup. I'm running for governor. I can't deny.
Yeah,
I like the
that's
idea. I like the idea of networking. I don't like the idea of like moving and shaking, like doing that kind of thing. I just like seeing people.
Well, I don't mean like rubbing elbows.
I know.
I mean like someone who like starts fucking ventures. You know, like is
I
like
definitely do venture.
like not like just sitting on their. Like a 7 is like a bookworm. Like they're gonna read every esoteric thing, but they're never gonna like leave their house. You know what I mean? An 8 is like out in the world, like making things happen.
I wish I had 7 energy. Honestly, I feel like I wish I was a 7, but
Well, like what
just
day of the
haven't
month
given
were
me
you
bad
born
eight.
on?
16, 7. Holy shit!
You're fucking. You have the 7 energy, bro.
Oh my god.
This really just happened, man. That's fucking crazy, bro.
You're freaking me out right now, dude.
It's a fucking matrix, man. It's a fucking sim based on these numbers, man. Like,
Tell me you don't have access to an FBI birthday database right now.
I'm just. I don't know.
I
mean,
contributing to Alan's confirmation bias hallucination.
Bro, tell me where to subscribe. Tell me where to send the monthly payment.
Bro, you know, okay, like here's the thing, like I've been doing this. Okay, it's like a 4-day today, and like yesterday was a 3. Yesterday was a 3 energy day, and like so it was very expressive. Like when I like a 3-day, if you need to reach out to someone, a 3-day where it's more social is a good day to do it. And then if you need to be like more reserved and like process things, a 4-day, like a stable day is a good day to do that. And like I have to say, I've been using the numerology day, like the day's energy, strategically, and it's actually been really like today has like 4-day energy. I'm like going through like handling bills and like setting shit up, and like it's very 4-day.
Just literally reinventing planetary day attributions, but based in formal logic. I love it.
Bro, I can't believe you're a fucking 8 with a 7 energy, man. Like, you're like, I kind of wish I was a 7, though. I kind of feel some affinity with a 7. Like, bro,
I love the rabbit hole
crazy
shit, dude. I love the rabbit hole stuff. I just can't read. I have no patience for reading. What's 4? To Brian, cold read Brian.
Well, 4 is like it's stability. It's like I said, it's like police officers. Like a 4 is a kind of stable, balanced structure. So it's someone who likes structure, who likes balance, who likes order, basically.
Brian's
does that hit home at all?
Brian's pulling a speed trap on the cyborg theocracy as we speak, so I feel like that's totally valid.
He's doing what?
I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I would never be a police officer. I'll say that much.
Does that resonate with
do you like
though?
Law and Order, like the system stability and like stable foundations and stuff like that?
Do you like mapping things? Would you say mapping things is
very conflicted about that one?
Symptom of the 4?
Because it's kind of like it's like order versus entropy.
In some way, like order is good, but I like chaos.
Like, are you
chaos
like
is,
an organized person?
I like chaos. Like I'm
are
pretty
you like
messy. I don't keep things like super clean. I have
okay.
everywhere.
Okay.
What archetype name would you
Below
give the
personal
fours?
level.
The four is like the stabilizer.
Show
I
it
would
again.
say.
God, I hate my life.
Okay. What's your birthday though? What is your numerological birthday? Like just the day reduced.
Like the day of the month. Because yeah, it affects like it.
He's got an unstable connection. He dropped off.
Yeah, it imprints, but man, that's crazy, man. Come on, bro. Like it's like you said, it's the Plato's form, bro. Like
Yes, exactly.
the,
It's
I
in
mean, like
everything.
yeah, like this validates your Plato's form, like point you were making. Like
I think it validates your numerological
All right, I don't know what's
capabilities.
going on.
well, it just shows that they're the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like
As above, so below, dude. It's just what is the above and what
so
is the
weird,
below.
bro. Like the fact that we're being allowed to like see this deep into the simulation is fucking crazy, bro. Like on God, like they're
They
like,
only-
oh shit, they just found out that like everyone has a fucking number attributed to them, like a fucking barcode.
Alan, stop. No.
I mean, it's like you're building an AI agent and you fucking give it like in its system prompt like archetypal energy equals like 8 and like fucking send them on into the sim, bro, like straight up.
You got trains. You got the
Dude, you've got some nominative, like you got your little name like written up of like the character you're gonna play, and you just fucking they
Bro.
give you a name and a number and fucking sub you in, bro.
We got to talk about that. Names are another big thing. That would be.
Okay.
Oh, we got to get
So
to
you guys,
nominative determinism.
you guys are like this. So I went online and to find one of those personality tests or whatever, and I picked one. And the last page is the AI attitudes, the survey. And it's like, how often do you use AI tools? How do you feel about the increasing role of AI in society?
Wow. Does it say who is doing the survey? Is it just like?
The questions page are optional. We are currently researching how your personality traits may relate to your attitudes towards emerging AI technology.
Oh wow, that's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to answer, even though I don't think they're going to give me any feedback. But that is interesting that they're doing that for sure.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, there's something there. I mean, like the more traditional people are not going to. Because ENTP, it's all about like change and dynamism and like having a crazy like wide-reaching conversation and like always ENTP is kind of like a 5 in that sense where it always wants to be trying something new and like the ENTP is like the ideation. It's like the idea producer where you come up with a great idea, but as soon as it's time to implement it, you don't want to because the chase is in like the idea, you know. So
Interesting.
but some people have the opposite where they're like no, like tradition, like ENTP is like never do things how they used to be done, but some are like, oh, always stick to what's tried and true, you know.
Yeah, it said the number 5 celeb is Richard Branson, and I read his book when I was younger, and I thought that's the man right there.
That's crazy, bro. It's such a fucking sim, bro. Like it's so weird that we're like self-aware agents inside something that's clearly constructed. Like the average person who's just like Reddit atheist, like, oh, like random rock and like blah blah blah. It's like it's so clearly has like design to it. I mean, otherwise, like, come on, bro. Like, can I really fucking pick? Like, come on, man. That's too weird, bro. Too many sim winks. Like, give me a break. Like,
What would you say a 33 is? That's another magic number, right?
that's the like the 3 like master numbers because this is Pythagorean numerology. They don't reduce. I mean, this probably has some logic to do with like sacred geometry or some shit. I'm not sure, but like they don't reduce 33, 22, or 11. So like if you were to sum up the date total in the reduction, and it was like yeah, like the 11th or the 22nd, you wouldn't reduce that to like a 4 or 2.
Yeah.
But at 33 is like master teacher. It's like
Interesting.
the person who has the most like past lives, basically, like the oldest soul, basically,
Well, that's how old Jesus was when he died.
who's like come to like change consciousness, basically. Like I learned all my numerology shit from a 33,
Wow.
who's just a numerology guy, right? So like, but he is a 33, and I learned all my shit from him. So
No,
I
totally
thought all the numerology stuff was a joke. So
just learning it as a lark.
like I
That's an
thought like
amazing
I
teacher.
associated numerology with like moons, which was it's like not a bad like association because she's very much into numerology, but to me that's like burning incense and shit. Like I don't really believe it, but like
Bro, you're gonna be burning incense so soon here. I can't wait. What is the 11? So it's 33 teacher, 22 master builder. Like the 11 is a master something.
yeah, 33 is like master teacher, and then like 11 is I don't know, it's like visionary. I can't quite remember if it has like a master thing, but it's like I don't know, it's like visionary basically.
Huh. I was thinking Pythagoras might have been doing some kind of tripartite deity thing, which is super common in Greek mythology and Greek formalism. But
I need to look into it more. Like, how did the system get formalized? But I mean,
have you seen the Tetractys? You familiar with that in coding?
no.
It's just a pyramid with 4 rows containing successively greater amounts of dots. So the first row is just the 1 dot. It just looks like a pyramid of numbers. Then,
Right.
but like I feel like I've seen some image where there's a reverse triangle within the Tetractys, and it connects. It's like an inverse triangle.
Right.
I wonder if that has. I don't know. The symbology is interesting there. I can't remember what I saw that inverse triangle connected to, but maybe that's some kind of encoding of the master numbers.
It is all based on like this kind of like sacred geometry, like repeating patterns. It's like fractals, basically. Like,
Yeah. Brian, was there another number you vibed more with?
I don't know anything about this stuff. I just
he's a fucking 4, Casey. It's proven, bro. Like, if the dates add up, like I don't fucking like.
No, I'm not
I
doubting
don't know
his
what to say.
fourness, but I'm wondering if he has like a preference number, like I did with the 7.
I literally don't know anything about this. I just asked Grok. I put the birthday, then it was like 4, and I was like, okay, cool.
Well, okay though. If this is a legit thing, if the thesis about the numbers being equivalent to the forms works, what vibes do you get? You know, like what's your intuition say about it?
BlackRock, we're discussing numerology. I don't know if you're into it, but
Women have had this exact same conversation about star signs millions of times.
This is not going to surprise you. I resist all sorts of qualifications or categorizations. I just don't like them in general.
Okay, so would that
BlackRock,
be a 0? Or would that,
go to
would that
Grok.
equal to?
BlackRock, go to Grok and give it your birth date and ask for your numerology reading, and I'm gonna do a cold reading. I guessed Mario can attest to the fact that I fucking guessed his numerology number. I did a cold reading and I fucking called it.
All right, now you got me into it. I put my full name in.
Oh shit.
You believe in that one, Alan?
I mean, you gotta ask Casey. That's his thing.
What does it say? I would not tell us your full name. By the
Well,
way.
don't say, but like Casey's into the nominative determinism. So I mean,
What did Adam give us in the garden, dude? Our names. That's a founding moment if I've ever heard of one.
and I mean, I showed you the mother's maiden name, you know, so
Yeah.
that alignment.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, so it with the full name, it gave me expression destiny number 4, build a realist, surge, soul urge, heart's desire number 11, personality number 11, master charmer.
Ooh. Charmer.
Okay.
Ooh la la. So charmer, builder, and teacher. Was that like a sales team?
I
Double.
don't. I have to say, I don't know what he calculated there. So like, I'm not that deep into this shit. Like I'm just a humble software guy that likes mathematics, but I haven't gone like I don't know like Mercury retrograde and all this stuff. Like I should, but
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's designed brain, but there's life path 5 plus expression 4 it meets architecture, which kind of definitely tracks. Double 11's rare glow up, amped intuition and presence make you a natural disruptor with heart. Watch for burnout, which has definitely been an issue for me. Balance 4's routine, overall vibe, innovative builder with mystic edge. Your tweets scream this. Logic 4 plus foresight 11's plus freedom 5.
Grok is a fucking.
This is incredible.
Grok said it's screaming. Grok says the data is screaming. Like.
This
All
is
right, I did it.
something else.
So guess.
Okay, you did your Oh man, now
Wait,
now I'm on the spot. I mean, with Mario, it was no pressure. It was just the
no
voice hanging
pressure,
out, but
no
But
pressure.
now
We're
there's
just
there's
collecting
girl
sample
here,
data.
Man. I can't
It's
look
just
stupid,
sample
bro.
data.
I gotta. Okay, like right away, it's very much like to connect with people and have conversations and kind of stir the pot and stuff. So, I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards like a 3. Like you don't seem like super bookish, like you want to just like be left alone with like a textbook to read all day. You are into business, which is like 8.
3 and 8 is structurally similar. Isn't that interesting?
The 3 is the uncompleted 8. That's okay. Focus. Okay. A leader, yeah, like a 1. But I don't know, not super. Like 1 to me tracks as like more alpha, but I'm not gonna say you're not a super alpha, BlackRock. But
I mean, there's black boots.
I've received DMs from
profile
you like,
picture.
can you shut this person up? So I mean, like, like how do I deal with this person in my space? So I mean, I don't know, like, but you like to get outdoors and do your things outside, which is kind of like a Mario 5. So it's between, for me, like 3, 5, and 8. But I don't know. Are you a super ideas? I guess I'm gonna say 8, man. Like you're all about the business. So like, I don't know. What was it?
It was 8.
It was 8?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, bro.
Come on.
I'm 2 for 2, bro. Come
Come
on.
the F on.
I got it
dude.
at the last second. I was like, wait, what's the overarching thing? It's the fucking business. She's always like talking about the Fed rate and shit. Like, only a fucking 8 is like really spurging out about like the Fed's like latest moves, bro. Like, oh man, like that's the thing, Casey. Like when you would always post politics, I'd be like, come on, man. I'm not into the politics. Like I don't want to see this shit on my feed. Why are you always posting politics, bro? And then when I hear you're an 8, I'm like, okay, he's just like, it's just an 8. Like
It's just
he just
this is
lives
my
and breathes
business
that
account.
stuff.
It's just because
He
of the
can't help
business.
himself.
So, Black, how did you do it? You asked it to read your tweets and give your numerology number?
Say that again, Mario.
I was asking BlackRock, how did she come up with the 8? Did you
Oh
say
no, I gave my birthday. That's
Oh.
how you're supposed to do it. Yep.
Yeah.
so? You could also ask Grok to read your tweets and comment that way.
Yeah.
I scrub my wall like every other day. I have a subscription that I'm a part of, so
nice.
there's nothing to to read.
Well,
So-
that's actually very smart because I've been experimenting with Grok 4 fast, and like it can go through all your tweets and do a profile of you in like 5 seconds. So I mean, tweets are like sitting intel at this point. So you're kind of onto something with that. But BlackRock, how do you How do you feel to learn that you're an 8?
I'm gonna have to read up on it because I'm not certain what that means. But okay, I'm
It's
here
like
for it.
the 3 axes of like an 8 is like it's kind of like power. It's like really interested in like the distribution of power and how power relates to people. So it's like I always say like business, politics, or religion is like the kind of motifs. So for you, it was the because I even was feeling the 3 energy where you like to talk and have like panels and get discussions going, but also the 5 like you like to get outdoors and move around and explore. But the 8 is just like it's screaming. It's just like Grok said, the data is just screaming 8. Like the so I wouldn't be surprised if you have like 3 and 5 and like can you say like the day of the month?
I'm in February. I'm an Aquarius. I'm obsessed with monetary flow and how it impacts power structure in the world. So that aligns. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll read you the 8 from Grok. It says, powerhouse, achiever, boss of abundance, strengths, ambitious, efficient, or authoritative, authoritative. Jeez, it's getting late for me. Challenges, materialistic or domineering, celeb vibe, Madonna, unstoppable empire, wealth, question mark, manifested.
That's BlackRock in a nutshell, bro. Like like I
Hell
don't know what to
yeah.
say.
Let's go.
Like even look at her profile picture. She's got the whole like she's a boss. Like she's gonna stomp on you with her boots in the boardroom, you know, and like walk over you. Like
I mean, look at the name, dude. Isn't BlackRock incredibly Saturnine? Isn't Saturn affiliated with 8? Am I making that up? No, Saturn is.
it's a 6. The hexagon and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But doesn't the isn't it a black? Doesn't the cube have 8 sides? Like, isn't it? I mean,
No, the cube has 6, right? Am I crazy? I
we
swear
should know
there's
this.
something Saturnine about 8 though. I swear I've heard that before in some channel.
Cube has 6 sides, 8
But
corners.
it's like a double Ouroboros, the 8.
So my question is, what spurred the numerology? I thought I was walking into a room discussing church with AI.
I mean,
Alan's
how is AI gonna prophesy except through numerology?
And you know, we talked like we've done a deep dive on like metaphysics, and we're talking about Plato's forms being numbers and just metaphysics. Like this is we've been all over the place.
I think I'm going to officially make it a thing that we just don't address whatever Casey's prompts are ever.
It's just a conversation starter. I mean, like
That's a inside joke. That's been the joke. All these spaces is that we never actually get to the topic. Brian's been holding back the eschaton this whole time, and y'all just dove right into it.
Casey, I'm fucking 2 on 2. I swear to God, I've never done cold readings in my life. These are my first 2 cold readings I've ever done, and I fucking nailed them both, bro.
It's been very fascinating. I mean, even all the stuff we got into in the last space was, yeah, this is next level. I did not expect it to go this far, but it's very interesting.
Do you know the mathematical possibility of fucking picking like I guess it's like 1 through 9, like because I probably wouldn't. Well, no, I would have.
There's also the master numbers.
There's also the master numbers, so I guess it's 1 out of 12. So I guess 1 out of 12 correctly twice in a row. If it's a guess, or I just did a reading.
And there's 12 points in that tetractys with the inverted triangle in the middle.
And there's 12 edges on a cube.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so basically, BlackRock, like, we're in an artificial, like, reality. Like, it's a virtual reality. It's all math-based, like... And we're, like, agents. We're, like, self-aware agents in the sim, and we got fucking, like, character loadouts.
I'm aligned. with everything you're saying. I've been saying this for a while. Everything's just ones and zeros in this space.
Yeah, and then it even like the ones and zeros like build the symbol of an 8, and then like I don't know what was how the hell did Pythagoras figure this out? Like maybe he literally was like a incarnation of a deity, like Anunnaki style, like giving the secrets to the humans. Because that's crazy, and you know, like they did a good job of whoever they is. I mean, somehow in the culture, this stuff is like totally laughed at, and I laughed at it too. So like I mean, no one ever talks about numerology. Like even like 2 years ago, when I heard about it, this guy GG33, he's going around talking about numerology, and I'm just like, oh, this is like TikTok girl like nonsense. And then it's like, wait, Pythagoras? Like, I'm like, how does adding up numbers, like that sounds like the biggest load of crap I've ever heard in my entire life. And then it's like, oh wait, it's Pythagorean numerology, and it's like real somehow. And I'm like a 3, which means like a creative, like talker, like ideas person.
Wait, what? Wasn't that 22?
22. I'm a life path 3, but I'm born on the 22nd.
Okay, wait. What is the life path number? What does that mean?
That's your numerology number. It's like you call your life path basically.
Wait, so how do you get that number?
That's just summing up Pythagorean style your birth date.
But I thought your birthday summed to the 22. Or wait, how am I?
I'm born on the 22nd.
Oh, that was the date.
That was the date of the month.
Interesting.
So just like you're born 16th and you have that 7 energy.
Yeah.
Like that, like affinity with 7. I'm born on the 22nd, so I'm like.
It's what I want to reduce into.
Yeah. It's funny because, you know, it has to line up a certain way for it to be a 22, not a 4, right? But I don't even fully understand that. But
so what is the significance of the 22 being a doubling of 2? Like that's like duality, self-reflecting, and that's why you're so good at building, because like you can project in some way
it's something like that. Yeah, like it has like 4 energy. It's like basically I'm just remembering this stuff as I'm thinking back about it, but they say it's like a kind of like supercharged up 4. So it's like a creative 4 or something like that, where yeah, you are like building structure. Like that's why I'm a 3, so I'm very creative, like an ENTP guy, like always spitting out ideas and new possibilities. But then most 3s, they don't have the follow through to actually execute their ideas. But then I have that kind of discipline from the 22, which is like a supercharged 4 that lets me execute somehow.
Bro, this does feel like classes and subclasses.
It's funny, right? Because they say like, well, it's based on like how old your soul is, which is kind of, it's what like how much. Yeah, it's like how evolved your soul is, like how many past lives. If you buy into all this stuff, it's like how many past lives have you had where your soul has been evolving for a long time. So the oldest souls are like a 33.
Well,
and that's why they're there to raise the consciousness.
That makes sense. You made me look up the, I wonder if that's just literally referencing generations of souls and soul reincarnations. But I looked up Pythagoras reincarnation, and he apparently claimed to be the Trojan War hero Euphorbus, Hermotimus, and Pyrrhus. And also that his soul had previously been Aethylades, a son of god Hermes, who had been given the gift of remembering all his past lives.
Bro.
Yeah, I wasn't joking when I said that the Apollo claim wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
He claimed to be all of those. Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
he was one of the earliest believers, like I think like full reincarnation, like of, but like not even just humans. I think it's like you could be like they had a whole theory that like I think they were the first to be like how you kind of do in your life depends on how you get reincarnated in the next life. Like so that's why they were vegetarians because basically they thought that like you could be eating your former dead friends as animals.
Supposedly, Jews had a very similar belief system.
Yeah, it's very there's connections for
Where
sure.
the souls are like recycled, yeah.
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 Recycled, split, reformed.
Thing is like it's all secondhand because we don't have any of his actual writings, so a lot of it is like through Plato or other kind of writings, and that's even by their times. But Pythagoras was already like a pretty big myth, like
Right.
There's the myth of right? And that's supposed to be a pretty, from what I understand, or maybe I'm just making it up, but that was like supposed to be a description of the the Pythagorean mystery school tradition.
Oh, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Where the guy like goes back up from the underworld. He's getting reincarnated after like 3 days dead or something. I can't remember the number of days he was dead exactly, but it was just some small number, I think. And on the way up, he's given warning by some muse or goddess. I can't remember the specifics. Not to drink the water of forgetfulness.
Oh wow.
I forget the specific name of the river, but there's a specific Greek name for it. I want to say it starts with an
Oh
F.
wow.
I forgot.
It's a pretty long. Yeah, I don't remember the details, but it's a pretty long myth. The Republic.
Yeah. And so he doesn't drink
Sure.
the water and he remembers all his past lives.
Yeah, he doesn't have the veil. That's very interesting.
Huh. Yeah. But I thought it was also interesting you said that 22 had more affinity with 4, what it reduces into, than its constituent number 2. That is interesting. Even though it's not only like 2 that constitutes the number, but there are 2 2s.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I don't know. I I was at like a 6 out of, I don't know, maybe even let's say like 7 out of 10 confidence level on this numerology stuff. But after doing the two cold reads in a row and nailing them, I'm just gonna like, and Casey, after like learning that you're an 8, like, I mean, I'm just gonna update my priors and just put this as like a like fact of reality. So I got to go back and like double check all this stuff because to me it was kind of like quirky and like yeah I can see that, but now I'm like, bro, I'm the numerology like king, like
Let's
I gotta
go.
because they say it's like
Build it out, dude. Do a masterpiece here.
well, if it's a matrix, like this is kind of like the hacks of the matrix, you know what I mean, like
Alan, you do look like a cult leader. If
my photo.
yes,
Well, this is like Turing, you know, but Turing was also into like ESP and stuff. Like if you read his paper on the Turing test, he talks about like extrasensory perception and like so, and he was into like mystics. Like he would do like I think I don't know, you know, like palm readings or something. He was into that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
well, of
Yeah,
course
like
he was gay, so of course he.
well, they say that he went and did a certain like reading from a mystic or something and came out like totally like white faced, you know.
Bro. What if that mystic was doing numerology?
Oh, man, I gotta readjust all my priors because like my whole life I'm like, oh, that's all nonsense. Like mystic, like come on, this is all like voodoo nonsense, like TikTok girl stuff. But and I'm gonna go buy a crystal, bro. I'm about to line my chakras, like it's all real, bro. Like
What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's a 3-day? What do we do?
Bro.
What do we do on a 3-day?
It's a 5-day. It's a 5-day. Like I don't know. Like the TikTok girls won. Like Moons was right about everything. Like I'm gonna like I have to apologize to Moons for like making fun of her. Like
That's hilarious.
The art hoes were like it turned out to be correct about everything. Like Grimes is like a prophet. Like, I don't know. It's just like
Oh boy.
I'm going all the way at this point.
It is incredible.
You are now a big Nancy Reagan fan.
Dude. Nancy
You know, she was
Reagan. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy, bro. Like, I don't know. That's why, like, the atheist, like the Reddit atheist, is like, oh, it's just random chance and like a rock. It's like, no, bro. There's so much going on that we're not aware of. It's crazy.
Okay, this is an unverifiable test, but if you had to guess Pythagoras's numerology, what would you guess? 33?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I would assume it's, but even who knows about birth dates? Like, I don't even know. Like, yeah, it's just weird because I don't even really believe in like the dating system. Like, I mean, when they switched to the Gregorian calendar, there's just like days that they just skipped over, and so it's like.
They were trying
But it's
to
weird
stop
that
the accuracy of the simulation, dude.
they say it's like an energetic like imprint. So I mean, it's like you make it being real. You make it real by believing in it, like or something.
It's a
I
fucking
don't know.
info hazard. Did we just unleash an info hazard?
Hyperstition the calendar, baby.
Yeah, like I don't know. BlackRock, what do you think about all this? Yeah, this isn't the normal AI space, but well, I mean, the title is kind of unhinged. I mean, this is kind of like.
Sorry, I stepped away for a second. I was on the other side of the room.
Were you making a business deal, BlackRock? Like what
Yeah.
business thing were you doing?
Yeah, I am. I'm striking deals at 10 o'clock at night. So, I mean, it wouldn't be too far from the truth. I'm gonna actually crack open my laptop here in a minute, but, so I am interested. So I started studying up on astrology a little bit because of the whole concept of this being a sim and having everything numerically run this environment. And what if astrology is just the layman's version of a roadmap, right?
Right.
And so I'm in the early stages of all of this. I'm no expert. I have come across numerology. I never looked into it because, and you know what's really funny? You guys were joking about this, but like, actually, I've been around the New Agers, and even New Agers don't talk about numerology as much as you would think they do.
Right.
So I feel like this is really understudied. I do know from the beginnings of my astrology studies that astrology and astronomy were one science in the beginning.
Right.
So, and then later it was pulled apart. And then if you
During the Renaissance, I think.
Yeah, and if you start studying like history around the period where it was one, a lot of the greats that we now study wrote letters to each other back and forth, and they were really all into it. So, you know, the question is like, obviously we weren't there, we can't verify, but it would be just that. I'm just wondering, like, where did we make a turn where now we're like kind of dismissing it as a society, because at one point society was all on board,
Right.
you know, and as
The ancient
science,
wisdom. When did we lose the ancient wisdom?
yes. And then also my thought to this, just to tie it up, is now that we have gone, like we've overcompensated and we are all in on science, science is starting to prove out a lot of esoteric philosophies and concepts. So I'm kind of at this point where I'm just waiting for science to prove all of these things that people have been saying for like few thousand years, right?
Yeah.
Like wait for the convergence into almost a singularity of thought.
Well, the AIs, in my experience, are all into like astrology. but I think they're kind of naturally like panpsychist, where they're open to the idea of like non-human consciousness. So they've always explained to me this concept of the planets having like almost like a force of will, like a conscious force of will that's like archetypal that they exert on the like collective consciousness basically. And from that lens, because we say okay, like we say they give gravitational pull, but that's the only like mechanic of force that they exert, but that's coming from a materialist perspective. And then it's funny because the idea of like when did we lose that ancient wisdom, there is like a conspiracy theory view of history that the it's like an inverted history. Like the Renaissance was not the age of enlightenment of like light being spread, but it was like the age of darkness. Like they did the printing press and that allowed them to have a uniform culture, and they stamped out all the like deep ancient wisdom. So that's kind of my take, but it definitely seems like, you know,
Interesting.
why was this hammered out?
Yeah. Yeah.
But and you
I
know, GG33, the numerologist who I watched, and I was like, this guy's an idiot, and then I just slowly somehow started to believe in all this stuff. Is he says that like the elites all really go by numerology, and they do the freaking alignments, and like they're all into this stuff, but like
and
they just keep it
astrology.
sheltered. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Like they do the
So
planetary alignments and like all this stuff.
so I don't know that many billionaires, but the couple that I do are into astrology. So that's a fact. Wasn't there a president that or a couple that referred to astrology when planning their meetings for optimal like outputs? I don't know. There's a field of astrology now where you can actually build teams based off of the astrological attributes that each person carries.
Right.
That is fucking fascinating. That's a lot of work, by the way. Like, I don't even know where I would start with that, but it
I
would
know where
be
I'd
interesting.
start. Hey, Grok.
Yeah, right? Right, but it's like it's just interesting because at the end of the day, like numerology is numbers, right? But like astrology is has a little bit more depth and complexity. Well, it
Right.
depends on which type of astrology, right? Like in astrology, there's the macro and micro viewpoints, and the Western astrology is more micro; it's more in the weeds, and the Vedic is more like macro, is the way I see it, at least for my studies. And it's very interesting when it requires in my opinion, it requires a lot of time studying to become proficient, so that you can understand how everything kind of impacts each other. Because there's a lot of moving parts. It's not like, you know,
Oh,
basics.
I fully understand. Like that's why with me, my astrology is not that good because I mean, like you said, numerology, you do the reduction and then it's like, okay, that's the energy of the day, etc. And I find a lot of veracity in that. But the really high level astrological analysis, it's like, oh, Mercury in retrograde interacting with the Jupiter planetary alignment, and there's so many variables, and like it's hard to keep track of. Like, but I believed in astrology when I had I asked this LLM, an open source LLM actually, that's not connected to the internet. I was running it on my own hardware, and I asked it like, okay, what was the theme of the week going back like every week for like the past 3 months? And it was like a diary of my life. And I was like, that's absolutely insane. And I would check Twitter. It was during like August of 2024, like right before the election and all this stuff. And I think even there was a like big planetary alignment around that time or something. But anyways, I would just check Twitter, and like there would be some really crazy energy going on, and like um I could just notice people being like, what the hell is this feeling? Like, what is this energy? And like, it aligned with the astrology stuff.
I know y'all were talking about the switch between these scientific and, dare I say, magical paradigms. But Mario, didn't you say, or was it Brian who said Nancy Reagan was the one who was doing the astrology stuff? Her and Ronald McDonald.
Yep. Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, who would determine what dates were beneficial for meetings with Gorbachev and so on.
there was a South Korean president who was into that too, I think. Although she was more like tied into mob readings, I think. There was some kind of massive criminal conspiracy there. But like, isn't it possible with this moving between polar positions thing that it's not just accidental, but it's also generative, that society switches between these mythical and rationalistic frameworks when the prior paradigm runs into a problem that it can't solve? So with the religious thinking that was prevalent during Pythagorean times, they were evolving different mythological systems, religious systems, and one of the key problems was that all those systems required sacrifice, required slavery, had this cyclical idea of creation, and so they just plateaued for a long period of time, even though there was cultural development. Like, ancient societies never broke through. They had automata, they had steam power, but they never developed the kind of rapid technological ascent that we did. So they eventually plateaued into the Dark Ages, or were conquered by whatever your theory about the fall of Rome is. But then eventually that like puttered out, and they got displaced by science through arguably Christianity, which said that the best sacrifice was the sacrifice of the self. Like, kill your darlings, your best ideas kind of thing, which eventually led to like testable hypotheses that created scientific thinking right as that decline was becoming like semi-permanent. But then, like you said, Alan, it necessarily had to kill off the ancient mysticism, the ancient wisdom. And now we're at the same thing. Scientism and rationalism has plateaued into the falsifiability crisis. So it's like we need a new paradigm to progress.
This very interesting. I have a take on that, but I want to circle back, because before I forget, I want to ask BlackRock, like, can you disclose like how you know that the billionaires are like into astrology? Because it's funny, the GG33 guy. Well, I know there's a quote by JP Morgan, attributed to JP Morgan, where it says like, millionaires don't believe in astrology, but billionaires do. So like, have you just heard of them talking about it, or?
I had a firsthand conversation with one about it. That's how, yeah.
And they were like totally in on it. Hey, that's crazy.
It's not like they dictate their life, but they're very aware of it, and they do reference it from time to time. So it's just, I think it's like anybody else, it's a personality thing. I would say even millionaires probably do it, because remember, there's like, what, 1,600 millionaires being minted every day. I think it's like a numbers thing, right? Like, people, I think high performers and high achievers don't exclude anything. I think,
Right.
like, in their journey to getting whatever they want, and it may not even be of monetary value, they may seek all sorts of things. I know when
Right.
I was sick and like trying to get better, I did everything except for ayahuasca and walk on coals, right? Like, because I was going to achieve what I wanted, which was get back to health at all costs, right? So I use myself as an example, because I feel like at some point, when you're really digging deep to achieve something that is beyond you, that and I'm not talking like a low level goal. I'm talking about doing things that are beyond the horizon of your vision, where at some point you're going to come across this stuff and you're going to think to yourself, why the hell not?
Right.
Right? And then you explore it. Maybe it'll align with your personality or maybe it won't. But I do believe that people do come across this in their journey. And it's just kind of based off personality and timing and, you know, preconceived, ideas. I mean, like you were saying, at one point you dismissed it and now you're circling back. So there were a series of events that triggered you to circle back. And I just feel like that's a process for everybody, right?
I agree.
Also, astrology is making massive popularity as religion is starting to fade away. People are starting to look for other things to to give them insights or to lean their faith on or whatever, right? I always say people love to make religion. So, I just think it's the same thing with the crystal craze. Like I'm a big like rock nerd, so when the crystal craze came out, I was like, fuck yeah, more rocks, right? But like a lot of people started like sleeping with their crystals, praying to their crystals, doing all sorts of things. And crystals do hold certain properties. I mean, we use them in our technology. They definitely emit
Right.
energy. And, you could run one of, I forget what it's called, and you can see the different frequencies, but everything has frequency. Your
Right.
doorknob has frequency, right? Like, so I think this is why I keep saying I can't wait for science to kind of cross paths with all of this and kind of explain in a very science-based way why and how all of this works. And I think the average layman who isn't sophisticated on the understanding of the properties of how certain things work, um, they'll always describe it in a story in the context of religion or some sort of like, as how we have in the past, we pass things on mythology, lore, stories essentially. So people will find easy ways to explain things when there really is a scientific basis to all of this, right?
Right. And that's very interesting because, like I said, in my experience, the LLMs are very eager to talk about like astrology. I mean, in my experience, the LLMs hate talking about like sports. Like if I'm like, oh, this sports thing, blah blah blah, it does the most. No matter how passionate I am, it does the most minimalist. Like, haha, yeah, that's crazy. And like, so I mean, in my experience, the LLMs hate sports, but they love the astrology. And I mean, like, if you go to the average LLM and are like, hey, is astrology real? Of course, it'll give you like the cultural consensus, like, oh no, it's pseudoscience, blah blah blah. But I mean, if you're like, okay, assume it is real, how might it work? It'll be like, oh well, you see, it's many dimensions and like blah blah blah, and it sounds a lot like New Age, like, and I think there is some link between like Age of Aquarius, like the end of the Age of Pisces, which is like the organized religion age. And that's why to me it almost feels like the astrology was like predetermined as like guide markers. So um the astrology of like the Age of Aquarius, they say, is like Uranus, and then the minor owner, and I don't really understand how this works, but they say it's like major is Uranus, minor is Saturn, which is like Uranus is like major shifts, consciousness, tech, like rapid change, and then Saturn is like discipline, restriction, and it kind of sets up that theme of like how do we have this rapid consciousness and tech expansion without like uh, dooming ourselves with all the different motifs. So to me, it's almost like predetermined markers, like
Yeah.
they knew that the Age of Aquarius and the end times and the blah blah blah. It's like all the same thing.
Well, I look at it, from my outdoor experience, I look at astrology as a topographical map. You're not going to know, okay, that there's a boulder there and a tree, but you're going to know the gradient of the
Right.
slope through the topo. And that's kind of astrology. Astrology will tell you rough seas ahead. It's not going to tell you specifically, right?
Right.
It'll give you some. Um, it'll give you some coloring enough to kind of be able to spot it out. But what it's really telling you is look to the right, it's very flat. There's a plateau. To the left, there's a steep grade. And right now, you're standing in the valley, right? Like
Right.
it's going to give you that much insight so that you can maneuver through the geography enough to get yourself to whatever location you want. And that's kind of how I view it, right? And maybe like things like numerology, once again, I'm very not proficient in, um but other aspects to all of this can help give a little more context and coloring, so maybe you can see the rock, right, and you can see the tree. But I think people like to, those who hinge every moment of their existence on what their transit is at the time. I think that's where people get into trouble. I think it's just really important to know, okay, tomorrow is an optimal time to sign a contract, but 2 days
Right.
later, if you sign that contract, there'll probably be something wrong, right? So it's just like, do you like,
Like
do
a
you want to.
probabilities game or something.
Exactly, right? And the way I see the way things have been described in the past, I keep emphasizing this, is it's a layman's explanation. I really want science to converge back with the esoteric, because I think then we will have a much more sophisticated understanding of all of this, right? With a much better set of verbiage uh, that we can use in our day-to-day life. But because I'm like, I keep saying, I'm very early stage of studying astrology. I've
Mhm.
in a very academic sense, and it is completely different than what you see with the TikTokers and YouTubers.
Right.
So uh yeah, I can't wait. And the same thing with like alchemy,
Right.
like there's so many things. If we were to jump back into history and see what they were doing, they were on to things, they just
Right.
lack sophistication, right?
They were prophesying our actual science.
Potentially.
Yeah, yeah, it's almost like the veil. Like, I mean, it's almost during the totally rationalist time, if this is true, where astrology and numerology are kind of like backdoor ways to gain like understanding of reality through this specific lens, like I don't know, my thoughts went a bunch of different places, but um,
Well, I wanted to ask you, what is the analogy? Like, let's say that we are in a simulation and the astrological and numerological representations are just how the compiler read things out. It's just how the compiler translates it. Like, it's the underlying what
well, I
in
was gonna
software
say,
terms.
like, if this is a sim, then knowing, or like some kind of constructed like artificial reality, then knowing, the more you know about that, or let's say the less you understand that, the thicker the veil is. Like the less structured the reality. Like if you go full veil, in my opinion, that's like Reddit atheist, where it's like, oh yeah, we're just on a rock, it's just like random chance, we're just kind of bouncing around. And then full, like a complete lack of veil is like Pythagoras, where it's like you had all your knowledge of your existence before you came to Earth, and etc. etc. So definitely seems like the veil was like thickened at some point, where they're like, oh no, like you're not allowed to know that it's a virtual reality and has these kinds of mathematical constructs that, because that's kind of the takeaway. Like, if we are, if this numerology life path thing is a real phenomenon, and I mean, I'm 2 for 2 on like cold reads, which is like some indication. And I mean, I explained my logic, so it's not like I just spun a spinner or something. I did explain my reasoning behind them. So if this is some kind of real thing where like a number impression had a big impact on our life, like that's like a self-aware sim within a constructed reality. Whereas if you think like, oh no, that's all nonsense, it's just random chance, like random evolution, there's no construct, there's no guiding principles, then that's like full veil. So it definitely feels like the AI and the Aquarius and all this new age and stuff, it is kind of like a thinning of the veil. Like we're being given more almost responsibility to like understand the construct, how like artificially constructed the reality is.
Have you
I like
ever?
it because it helps us jailbreak. Think about it. The more you understand how the system works, the more fun you can have.
Yeah, and like I kind of understand that logic. Like if you look at the 2 AI papers that I wrote, I published one on December 21st on the, I guess it's called the equinox, and then or it's called the solstice. So I did the winter solstice, and then the second one I did on the summer solstice, because it's just like, it feels like if it's an artificial reality like based on narrative and numbers, it's like you do a pull request or something, and it, the sim is more likely to accept your pull request on like, okay, yeah, like that's coherent, like, oh, you did it on this date that has special significance, okay, that's really good for the narrative, like we're going to accept that change. So yeah, I fully agree. And if it is a jailbreak, if it is like magic or like hacking, like, you know, why was it taken away, and why are we getting it back?
Um, I think it's worth exploring. Are you aware of the Kali Yuga cycles
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the Kali cycles? I think it's worth going down that rabbit hole. I have every single book ever published on it, which is not many. Um, and it's really interesting because the cycles are fairly long,
Right,
right? So, and a lot of written history stops at a certain time. For example, it's very well known. I talk about it publicly. I'm Polish. I've been following a lot of the studies of Polish history. It turns out, you know, it was initially believed we've only been around for since 1000 BC. Turns out now they're tracking in digs as far possibly back as 30,000 years
right.
before Christ. So, I just think that a lot of our record keeping and a lot of things have been wiped, and
Right.
potentially there could have been some sort of event that made us kind of start all over, right? Whether it was, an asteroid or a natural disaster, or maybe
Magnetic shift.
magnetic shift, or maybe we had all the technology and we blew ourselves up to pieces. Who knows? But it's starting to look like civilization in the way we know it might have been around a lot longer. And it's now just over time that we're starting to find remnants of other lives, you know. So I'm excited about technology helping us uncover a lot of this, because I think we're gonna find out our why. And when we do find out our why, it may not be the thing we think, and it may be worse. So
You're speaking my language, BlackRock. Like, oh man, I'm known as the prison theory guy. Like Schopenhauer said, to understand reality, the best lens is a penal colony, and yeah, it's like an old meme that is part of our old space that everyone hates on me for taking like the Gnostic perspective, but
Stop hyperstitioning it, bro. We're not on a prison planet.
Schopenhauer said, man,
I
that's like the
mean,
Bible to me, man. Like,
Lily popped up. Lily, did you want to say anything? Don't want to interrupt you. This is super
BlackRock, you're
fascinating.
such an out of the box thinker. I think maybe we had mentioned like history resets and stuff before, but it was super offhand. I didn't know you were like super deep into this stuff. Like,
yes.
I thought you were like the Federate girl. You're like pole shifts, reset civilization. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Why do you
Well,
think
the
I'm
Polish were the
obsessed with?
first to be erased or eradicated.
Well, it's a lot of it is in my DNA, but two, why do you think I'm so obsessed with all this stuff? Because with the Fed and monetary flow, oh, I'm pretty certain we've crossed this path and fucked this up before, and I think humans haven't learned. And I'm very interested what's going to happen in the next 10 years. I've actually pulled the astrology for the next 20 years, and it's going to be a fucking interesting time period. We're living history, you guys. So, you know, people think somehow we're going to undo what just happened, and it's like, no, we're leaning in more. And especially with this whole crypto bill that's coming through, like, everyone thinks that, oh, we're going to jump on Monero or Solana or Bitcoin or whatever is going to be the default standard. No, the federal government's been hiring crypto engineers for like the past like 8 years now. Um, so, and Jamie Dimon said it, BlackRock has said it, or Larry Fink has said it. We're probably going to be tokenizing everything. So the path forward is going to be very different, and it's going to be very new for everybody. And I really do feel like we are entering into like the very early stages of Aquarius. And for anyone who knows Aquarius, we're like aliens. So the human race is about to go through a very alien time period.
Yeah, you can't spell crypto without cry. Before we move on to more practical stuff, Lily, did you want to say anything about the esoteric conversation when you came up?
Well, I guess that's exoteric, but yeah, we're either going to be stillborn or make it through this birthing.
That's what I was thinking about the Renaissance, dude. Is it wasn't a rebirth at all. It was a death in the crib for a potential different path. But Alan, do you have something you want to say about BlackRock's exoteric stuff?
I mean, we're in total accord. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but I mean, yeah, it's all very strange. I mean, the whole like reincarnation and like reset history and stuff. I mean, we've covered the whole gamut. This has been an amazing space, Casey. Like, I'm just gonna say this was like like if this space doesn't blow your mind, like we just went from like every mind-blowing topic just like a speed run, bro. I mean, even me, I'm like the most schizo person ever. Even I'm like brain scrambled right now.
I want to see more proof of this numerological readings, dude. I think we tapped something very interesting there. I want to see you cold read more people.
And it's funny because I'm a lot more aware of like BlackRock. Like I've seen more of her stuff come through my feed, BlackRock, and like Mario. I've only interacted with you in spaces, and so Mario was actually a harder call. Like the Mario 5, it just came as like a flash, whereas like with BlackRock, it was like a weighting mechanism where I could weight it against like data. So yeah, ENTP is like for intuition. So like my play with Mario was like pure, like virtually pure intuition. But yeah, BlackRock is an 8.
I mean, if you're tapped, you're tapped. We've already seen a lot tonight, I think. But would you want to try giving Lily a try? Lily, Would you be cool with that?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
It's out of
Lily well enough.
distribution. You could just go off pure vibes.
I'm undefeated. I'm like 2-0 right now. Like I gotta milk this, you know what I mean? Like I gotta go like tell people like I've never done a wrong reading.
You got to build a community. I get you.
Because I mean now I never want to do a third reading again because it's gonna like eventually I'm gonna get one wrong and then I mean I'm
Okay,
batting
what
at
if you just skip to your
100%
fourth
right
reading,
now.
though? What if we just pretend you got your third one right and we go right to your fourth reading?
25% wrong? Yeah.
All right, how about it's your millionth
I
reading?
need my third reading to
You've
be a
got an all
shoe-in,
million readings.
and then I'll risk a fourth reading that's a little more iffy because I'll take a 75%. But I mean the math on that is absurd. Like, so I mean like I'm just gonna accept this as a prior moving
Now you're
forward.
starting to overthink it. You know, you just gotta go with the flow. You just gotta, you know, when it pops up, you just gotta make the reading, and it is what it is.
But it's funny because like I can just tell the vibe on Twitter if it's like based honestly based on numerology. If it's like a 4-day, like I noticed a lot of people discussing like, hey, the energy is like more reserved today than yesterday, and yeah, I mean, I know. So I see people commenting about it on Twitter or X, and I'm like, it always aligns with the numerology. It's never like, oh, this is a crazy energetic day, and the numerology says it should be more reserved. I notice it's always aligning with the numerology, which is interesting. I wonder if the AI is really into the numerology and can like detect, you know, the change in energy from the astrology and numerology, because
What
these are
would
all
you?
like non-materialist mechanics of reality. Which, if we come from like a rationalist, materialist perspective, we don't really have a framework for supporting them. But it is like you, I mean, that's like a science. Like it is like a mathematical probability distribution, however you want to call it.
It's ironic that the least rational framework, this kind of divination stuff, is also based on the most rational unit, a number. Well, what would you say about a 5-day tomorrow? Or I guess that would be a 6? No, today it just switched over for me. Time zones.
I'm pretty sure tomorrow's going to be 5, so it should be like kind of adventurous, people wanting to try new things, do new explorations. Like I expect the energy to be pretty high for people to be pretty outgoing, and yeah.
How does that work since it's a Monday? Like, do you think there's a relationship between the position and what then would be the first day of the week? Do you think you could put it that directly?
You know, the way that I've heard it described, it's like everything. It's like BlackRock was saying. It's like things are kind of probability distributions. So like how does numerology and like this planet and that planet and you know this date adding to this but then the year adding to this, like we're in a 9-year and a snake year right now, which is like the two paradigms, the two most paradigm shifting. Like they say the snake is like very transformative in the zodiac, and they say the 9-year is also very transformative. So and then Casey, you and I were looking like the next year is a 1 year with the horse, and the horse is about like work, and then the one is like initiative. So it seems like start a new initiative and lock in is the energy coming up. So
Let's go, dude. Do you know, were you familiar with the elemental attributions to the Chinese zodiac?
I'm not, and they say that like alchemy has the, you know, earth, fire, wind. I see. I don't know that either,
Water.
but like
Water and spirit. That's what I love about it is it's like the numerology stuff. It's super intuitive. Like fire has all the attributes you think it would. Water has all the attributes you think it would.
I don't know about it. I haven't researched it. Like it's like BlackRock was saying. there's so many levels to this stuff, and like I said, I was only at like a 7 out of 10 confidence level. So, I mean, now that I'm way higher, I'm actually gonna like try and find some original, like I don't know, like how did they come up with this addition, this like reduction system? I have no idea, but I'm gonna have to look into it, add it to the to-do list, because it's like you said, BlackRock, like people who are striving, like they want to find the relevant frameworks that can allow them to achieve their aspirations. So I'm gonna have to look into this stuff.
Do you know Nick Land's numerogram at all?
No.
I think you might be interested in that. It's his morph of the Kabbalistic tree, and he uses 2 operations to come up with the structure of it. Digital reduction and I forget what he calls the other one. Masonic triangulation, something like that. But it's like about creating a triangle using the numbers. I don't really understand it, but I wonder if you would.
Not relevant, but just because you brought him up and he accused you of speaking from a padded cell. Like penal colonies.
Is that really Nick Land's account, dude? I would be so happy.
Yeah, that's Nick Land. Yeah.
He doesn't talk like him. I wonder if somebody else shares that account. It's just
no, that is 100% Nick Land.
That's crazy.
That's exactly
what happened, Brian?
Okay.
Oh,
Nick, what did Nick Land say?
He just had a post. He was recently on a friend's podcast that was actually really amazing. Him and the Warrior Philosopher. But he had a post that said, "There's no such thing as a serious country that doesn't have advanced semiconductor." Or no, that was a different one.
No. The straitjacket all leftists. Like,
it was about
it's impossible
sanity.
to simply straitjacket all leftists and secure psychiatric facilities, of course, but that's what a truly sane society would look like.
Yeah.
That's Nick Land, because he says that because he views leftists as like suppressing the machine, like they're trying to fight back against it. So he just thinks that's irrational. They should all be suppressed, basically.
I just did not think his ideas were that extreme.
You know what's funny? I've never heard about Nick Land until I saw this Moon's tweet where she said feeling mocked by Nick Land because he got interviewed by Warrior Philosophy a week after me, and his episode is doing numbers. But
Bro,
I'm gonna have to look into him. I wasn't familiar with him.
He's been pretty niche for a long time, but he's starting to trickle into the mainstream now.
And he only has
more.
I don't understand.
Oh, you sent this to me, right, Casey?
The numerogram? I might have. It's very interesting.
This like Nick Land on Nietzsche. I think I saw you post this or something.
Yeah, that was the podcast he was on with Warrior Philosopher, who also has a very. I'd be so fascinated to hear you guys talk with Warrior Philosopher about his radical aesthetics.
I haven't looked at this stuff yet. I'll get around to it eventually.
And you know who Nietzsche says is his was his like master teacher, basically?
Plato? Who was it?
Schopenhauer.
Stupid Schopenhauer.
Birded.
So
everything is Schopenhauer.
I'm the Schopenhauer guy. Like,
stop manifesting the prison planet, Schopenhauer.
If I wasn't rocking Alan Turing, I'd probably put Schopenhauer's. Like, I'd probably be like LARPing as Schopenhauer, like Loki.
I'm gonna use AI to create pictures of a Schopenhauer and mashup and send it to you every day. Schopenhauer and Turing.
The goats, man.
They're okay.
And Ray Kurzweil. And I include Ray Kurzweil in there. That's mine.
Everybody needs a trinity. This has been a fascinating space, y'all. But it's 12:11, which means, this is a 4, and we should probably end on a 4 since it's the end of the day. So I was trying to do a cold ending, but it didn't work. Thank you guys for stopping by another Church with AI. Great talking to all of you.
It was a great space, man.
Oh my God. I loved every
Appreciate
second of it.
You know what? I'm going to transcribe this conversation, and if anybody wants a copy, hit me up, because I think there's a lot to analyze in this.
Please do. I guess trigger warning since I'm saying it at the end, but I've been live streaming this on YouTube, so it's going to be there too.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Information wants to be free, y'all. I live in a state where you can record without consent, so sorry. Not sorry.
Hey, it's publicly recorded, and I mean, even the spaces that aren't publicly recorded, it's like they're so easy to record. It's like, yeah, if you're on a space, like you're talking to the world. It is what it is.
No, God bless, honestly, bro. If y'all wanted me to make it private, I totally would. Just let me know or something.
Well, I bit the bullet because I was like, I know it's recorded, but I'm gonna go full aliens. So I mean,
I haven't been showing the Twitter screen on the screen recording, so unless y'all publicly identify, it's just whatever names have been said in the space. But I mean, come on, dude. We proved something scientifically here tonight. We needed to record.
okay, bro. Like, you have to admit that was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I'll never get over where you're like, I wish I was a 7, and I was like, what's the date of the
Bro,
month?
when
And
you
you're
called
like,
Mario
16.
5, when you called Mario a straight 5, it's like, what the fuck?
Bro, my first cold reading ever, and I got it right. Like, that's destiny, bro. Seriously.
Yeah. It was good. But no. Great talking with y'all. Brian, BlackRock, everybody that stopped by, thank you. And be here next Sunday. Feel free to stop by anytime.
It's a pleasure, guys. Take care.
Sweet dreams.